Hey everyone, Brian from Three Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey, did you guys hear about the blonde who went to Colombia for some coke?
No.
Yeah, she came back with Pepsi.
Oh,
That's an oldie but goodie. It was originally told by famed Colombian comic Abe Bogota.
I would have killed her. Coke's better, man.
Two-parter.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
It was like a pink nightmare.
Christmas has a Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log.
All that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the lightning.
We named the dog Indiana.
I am your father.
Hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of Three Geeky Dads, the show now brought to you by the new Michael Douglas Edibles. For when you're falling down and need a little zoning out, Michael Douglas Edibles, weed is good. I am Mark, and with me, as always, are the Will Smith and Zsa Zsa Gabor to my people who like slapping the shit out of other people.
Derek
And Brian.
And joining us, as always, to say F you to math and the accuracy of our show title, the man who puts the 4 and I am number 4, after putting 4 into 4 rooms in 2 other episodes. Dopey me, Tito. What's
Hey.
up, gentlemen?
What the 5 fingers say to the face?
How's everybody doing?
James.
not bad. Not
Everybody
bad.
good? Everybody having a good week?
Yeah.
So far, so
Fine.
good.
So
Yeah.
far, yeah.
All right, good.
That
It's a simple
concludes
week.
the social
That
portion
concludes-
of
yeah.
Exactly.
Any sports talk? Anything going on in the world of sports? Then there's nothing
Not
for
really.
me. I've been hearing a lot about soccer, but I don't.
Oh,
I don't want to talk.
gearing up
Team
a March
Canada
Madness.
beat the shit out of Team USA.
Oh, there you go.
In Boston, Massachusetts.
I mean, they invented the sport, so
They have. They have.
they probably should.
They have every right.
They do. We're going to own them soon anyway. Sources are telling me. So,
Can't wait.
yeah, it'll be fun. I'm sure they're going to love it, too.
I loved the fact that in Boston, like nobody booed the Canadian national anthem.
Oh, how could you?
Like, well, no, because Boston sport fans are known to be kind of like
Vindictive.
yeah,
Well.
and just shitty sometimes.
No, it's because
But not
it's
as
in
not
the
as bad
water.
as Philly, but obviously.
Yeah.
But
no,
Yeah, no, Boston sports fans can suck.
yep.
they can.
But I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I know you go to Fenway Park and you think, oh, this is the America we live in right now.
Yeah.
Right.
But apparently the Garden got
Garden.
respect.
The Garden has respect. You just get them Dunkin' Donuts and a copy of The Departed. Everybody's fine.
Cut your nails.
When I tell you to dump a body in the marsh, you dump them in the marsh.
You know, hanging out at Dunkin' Donuts is kind of the highlight of my day. Is that sad? Yes, very. You're not allowed to smoke in here. I'm outside. No, you're not.
Take a dump, smoke a couple of Parliament.
Parliament.
Yeah, Parliament.
Parliaments. take a big dump, have
Take a
another,
big dump.
have a
We'll
big
get some
Trella.
Stop and Shop cornflakes.
Oh, is today the day? Today the day? Huh? You gonna take on your old
You've been
man?
sitting here for an hour enjoying myself.
Father of the year over here, everybody.
I want to watch those again now. Tonight,
The Bill Burr SNL commercial is awesome.
They are the best. Tonight, the dads conclude their Fantasy February Pulp Fiction Month with a movie that actually does not take place in the 30s. No, instead, we find ourselves in the always fun 80s to look at one of the best Indiana Jones ripoffs since the last two Indiana Jones movies that we just pretend are ripoffs because they're just not good. Romancing the Stone, a movie that is also inspired by those old pulp stories and movie serials of yesteryear, set in the modern backdrop of Pepsi Cola and Xerox machines. Xerox machines. Xerox is the name of an alien.
You have a Xerox? Yeah, in the back.
But
she is broken.
Got to keep that shit hidden.
But before we dive headfirst into large puddles of mud and build ourselves a cozy marijuana fire for two, our own romantic renderer of ricotta and rice and or roni, Brian, has prepared a yummy appetizer to start us off.
But your hand is frozen, my child. How does a nice bowl of soup sound to you, huh? I know what it means to be cold and hungry. Yes, and how much it means to have a little kindness from a stranger. Are you ready for your soup? Hold out your bowl, then. Oh, my friend, you don't know what your visit means to me. How long I've waited for the pleasure of another human being. Sometimes in our preoccupation with worldly matters.
Brian.
Yes, Mark.
Yes, Brian. I mean, you're welcome, Brian.
Tonight, as Mark mentioned, we're wrapping up our look at pulp heroes for the month of Fantasy February, this time with 1984's Romancing the Stone. In the film, Kathleen Turner plays Joan Wilder, a mousy romance novelist who receives a treasure map in the mail from her recently murdered brother-in-law. At the same time, her sister Elaine is kidnapped in Colombia, and the two criminal brothers responsible demand that she travel to Colombia to exchange the map for her sister. Joan does, but she quickly becomes lost in the jungle after being waylaid by Zolo, a corrupt Colombian cop who will stop at nothing to obtain the map for himself. While there, she meets and is helped by an irreverent, laid-back adventurer of sorts named Jack Colton, played by Michael Douglas, who agrees for a price to bring her back to civilization. Together they embark on an adventure that could be straight out of one of Joan's pulpy romance novels. All right, this is just the first time that the creative team of Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito have starred together in a film, but they followed this movie up with the sequel, Jewel of the Nile, and then the Danny DeVito-directed film, The War of the Roses. And that got us to wondering about other acting teams or duos, or entire casts for that matter, that have worked together on multiple films.
Tito, you're starting us.
You got it out.
It's a Tito.
I did. I finally got it out, Tito.
Good man.
With the help of a little Miralax, mental Miralax, and a long-handled spoon.
Ew.
No, I like this one.
With a ladle.
This is my. I'm glad I'm going first. I don't think anybody has this one. It's Richard Pryor and it's Gene Wilder.
Man.
Favorite
Yes.
teams.
Good choice.
So See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Silver Streak, Another You. They almost made Trading Places was supposed to be a Richard Pryor movie, but he set himself on fire, so he didn't get to
Yeah, that's going to set you
make
back.
it. And then Eddie didn't want to make a movie with Richard's boy, so then they replaced.
They were originally supposed to
Gene
be
Wilder.
in Blazing Saddles together, too.
Oh, that I did not
Yeah,
know.
the part that Cleavon Little
Yeah, was
Little
gonna be
plays
Richard
was
Pryor?
originally intended for Richard Pryor, which would have been the first time that he and Gene Wilder
Oh,
would
that would
start
have been
together.
amazing.
Yeah, it would have. But nothing against Cleavon Little because he's fantastic.
No,
in
he's-
that movie.
Yeah, he's very good. But I've always loved this pairing.
Yeah, good
they
pick,
seem so
man. I
odd.
totally forgot
That's a
about
really
them.
good pick.
They worked so well together, and they seem like I don't know. I
What
would
was
love
one-
to be either one of them. In
Did
that
you mention the one
relationship.
where one was blind and one was deaf?
Yeah,
Yep.
See No Evil,
Yeah,
See
See No
No
Evil,
Evil.
okay.
Oh, I love that
Yeah.
movie. That was probably the first one I saw because I
Me
was
too.
young enough to
Yeah.
for that to, and I think I saw it in the theaters. But yeah, I just love their chemistry together and their like true world friendship.
Yeah.
Was always very, very cool.
Yeah, I gotta see Stir Crazy again. I haven't seen that one. In
Yeah,
so
I haven't seen
long.
that in years.
Those are the only two. I haven't seen Silver Streak, and I definitely haven't seen.
Oh, it's so
Another You.
fun. He's trying to solve a murder on a train.
Yeah.
And he keeps getting thrown off the train and having to find ways to get back on. It's fucking hysterical. And he's in blackface at one point. Which is so fucking hilarious. It's hilarious.
All right.
It's Richard Pryor's idea. So
Speaking of
so
trading,
it's okay
speaking
then.
of trading places,
Okay, I have a black co-star.
it's fucking hysterical. It's so funny.
Total
So
freedom.
funny.
Total freedom.
Mac, what about you?
I got Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff.
How did I know?
These two are. I had a couple that were really close, but Son of Frankenstein, The Black Cat, which I absolutely love, The Raven, The Body Snatcher. I mean, these are all great performances by the two of them, and there was that supposed rivalry that they had, but I think it's been embellished greatly, especily in Ed Wood.
Yeah.
Bela Lugosi never called Boris Karloff a cocksucker,
Yeah.
no matter how funny it is.
that limey's not.
Karloff does not deserve to smell my shit, you know.
That limey cocksucker.
It makes for great comedy, but in fact, the two highly respected one another, and there was a bit of a competition with them, but it was a friendly competition. I mean, Boris Karloff, according to Bela Lugosi, was just way too nice. You couldn't hate him, and you know, in the end, if you watch the two of them together, Bela Lugosi, for the most part, always has more screen power, even though his parts are smaller than his than his co-star there. But I like
he's
them.
fantastic as
They're great
Igor
together.
in Son of Frankenstein.
Son of Frankenstein
Absolutely fantastic.
is awesome, and I really wish the two of them were together in like Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. They could have fun, but they did do a lot of movies, more than I mentioned tonight, and they're just a powerhouse behind Universal. I mean, they're the faces of Universal, both of them. What's the word I'm looking for?
Iconic. Yeah, or
Iconicized. Is that a word? That doesn't sound like a word. They made icons out of the Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Let's just stop trying to be fancy,
right,
Mark.
yeah.
But they are the faces of Dracula and the Frankenstein monster. That's all we ever think about. No one's ever going to think about anything else. They'll search after a while and say, actually, I like this one, or I like. But when you immediately think Dracula, you think Bela Lugosi, or at least his accent. When you think the Frankenstein monster, you think Boris Karloff, and that will never change.
True.
And you just don't have actors of that caliber anymore. And when putting them together, fantastic. Definitely check out The Body Snatcher if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a Val Lewton production. It's
Is
not.
it?
Yeah.
So was that for Universal or was that RKO?
RKO.
Yeah, because I knew Val did his stuff for RKO.
So that's mine.
I like The Black Cat.
The Black Cat's a great movie.
Good stuff.
Despite DeVito's inclusion in this cinematic trio that we're talking about, I bumped this up to a 4-pack because they're one of my favorite pair of films with shared casts, especially because I talk a lot about all my other favorite acting stables, the View Askew guys, the Christopher Guest crew, the Flan Avengers.
You know, it's funny. I didn't even think of those guys.
I didn't think of
that's like when I think of like repeated castings together, like that's usually what happened. Like Judd Apatow always has a grouping, so those guys are always in multiple movies, and it might not.
There are a lot of directors that like to work with,
and
the
it might
same
not include
people
all
over
of
and
those
over.
actors, but like there's usually some groupings.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, like Wes Anderson,
Right.
he likes to use the same cast.
But for
same
this,
actors over.
I'm going Kevin Kline, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Palin, and John Cleese.
nice.
Oh, that's a great,
I fucking
great
love
choice.
Fish Called Wanda, and
Yes.
Fierce Creatures is not the same level of greatness, but it's definitely up there.
Oh, it's a fun
they're-
movie.
So both of them are just.
It's still a fun movie. I love both of them too.
They just, they're hilarious. They're brilliant. They feature these like 4 tour de forces of comedy, like these 4 actors.
and acting.
Just the chemistry between them all and the comedic timing. It's just so good, and I always go back. They're definitely like movies that will never leave my collection. I'll always.
I watched Fish Called Wanda last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's so great. Like my mom, I remember my mom really loving it when I was a kid. And obviously there's like adult, it's an adult movie. It's not really like geared towards kids at all. But when I finally did see it as I was older, I just like.
It's even better.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so, it was so
You get
good.
more of the jokes.
Nope.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Good pick.
Michael Palin and John Cleese are my 2 favorite Monty Python people, and they're together in a lot of movies.
Yeah. Cool.
Excellent.
Brian?
All right, so I'm going with George Clooney and Brad Pitt. They made 6 films
They were all
together.
my runner-up, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Ocean's
Yeah.
11, 12, and 13. Also, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which we brought up like 2
the
or 3
Sam
weeks
Rockwell
ago. Yeah.
movie.
Right.
Shit.
Burn After Reading, which is a fantastic Coen Brothers
Coen,
movie.
yeah.
I encourage all of you to watch it. Derek has it on his Voodoo. You have no excuse. And the recent Wolves.
Wolves. I
which
haven't
is
watched
on-
it yet.
I did. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's on Apple.
It's on
right?
Apple Plus.
Yeah.
They play Harvey Keitel's character in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, no kidding.
Also, the Wolf.
Oh.
And they're 2 quote-unquote cleaners who get called to the same crime scene to clean up the same body, and shenanigans ensue. They don't know why they were both called.
That sounds
It was
cool.
kind of a setup, and they got to figure out what's going on while they're trying to.
This is an Apple Plus.
Oh, I have
It's an Apple
Yeah.
Plus original.
Oh,
yeah.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was a
check that
fun
out.
movie.
They're a pair that have awesome chemistry together.
Yeah, they really do.
Like their real life friendship comes through in everything. And I like all the
They
oceans.
just play so well off
Totally,
of each other.
totally.
They really, it's so smooth. It's like butter.
I think too, like when they're together on screen, it kind of brings they bring each other down to like a more normal level. Like they're not like the superstars that everybody like talks them up to be, like
Exactly.
these Hollywood heartthrobs. It's like just 2 regular guys,
Yeah.
you know?
It's more relatable.
Yeah.
They're
Very
definitely more
good pick.
relatable. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too. I didn't even think of those guys.
Nice.
Excellent.
So what do we got for runners up, boys?
Runners up.
I got Sandler and Barrymore. I got Frost and Peg. And I got Hanks and Ryan.
Who?
Tom Hanks,
Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
Oh,
they made about 4 movies together in the
did.
80s and early 90s.
Yeah.
Joe versus a volcano.
Yeah.
You Got
Mail.
Mail. Sleepless.
No,
in
not When
Seattle.
Harry
Yeah.
Met Sally. That's Billy Crystal's.
No, it's
Sleepless
Billy-
in
yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah, what was the other
I
one?
think that.
Was there a 4th? There's a 4th.
I think there
There
might
had to
have
have
been,
been.
but I didn't actually write the movies down because I was like, oh, they're. I like.
I think I'm one of the few people that actually liked You Got Mail.
I like You Got Mail.
Yeah, you got Mail with
Movie.
a...
It was a very long movie.
Chappelle's in that
bit.
movie.
It's a very long.
that's right, he is.
movie.
Yeah.
I can't not hear Jingle Bells without going, horses, 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 like she does while she's singing the song in the car. That's stuck out. I don't know why. It makes no sense. It's
Oh, you
so
know what?
random.
I'm not a Meg Ryan guy. She doesn't do it for me.
No, Meg Ryan
I
doesn't
used to-
do it.
I love
She was
Meg
so
Ryan.
adorable.
Inner Space.
I
Inner
love-
Space.
She
She did, but
She
and
was
Top
so
Gun.
adorable back in
I
the
love
day.
Meg Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Remember City of Angels with Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
Movie sucked.
That bummed me out. You don't like
But
that
it-
movie?
Dennis Franz's
Andre
ass is
Braugher?
in that movie.
Andre Brower's in
Yeah,
it?
it's all right. It's all right. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
like
That bums me out. She died.
That was the
She died in
Castor
a truck.
Troy Angel movie. Because then they had the
Oh, Michael?
Archer. Yeah, Michael.
That's I would take City of Angels over that movie.
What, Michael?
Yeah.
Oh, without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah,
Michael
terrible.
is during Travolta's whole renaissance.
Goo Goo Dolls, right? Had that song?
Yeah.
For City of
And-
Angels.
yeah.
Alanis Morissette had that.
Yes,
Unworthy.
that one.
That's a great song.
Beautiful song.
I love
That's
that song.
a great
Yeah.
song. My sister kills that song at karaoke.
Yeah?
For real, for real?
Yeah, she can get up there and like, damn, it's good.
Belt it
good
out.
stuff,
She's
yeah.
one of those.
She's one of
One of
those.
those people that shows
Had
off
the
at
whole
karaoke.
bar
Oh,
stop
she
it.
is-
Let me do Unworthy and show off.
Sarah and I went
Everybody else
with
is doing
her.
Bust a
Sarah
Move.
and I went with her and a friend of hers to do karaoke at this place. It was like years back, and she went up there and just like wailed that song, and everybody in the bar like stopped and listened. And then I got
that's
up there
awesome.
and did Amish Paradise.
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah. He's in karaoke.
Yeah, it's
You
like
did what you do at
this is
karaoke.
way too
Yeah.
serious. I'm gonna bring the room down a little. Here's
And boy,
Weird
did you.
Al's Amish Paradise. They liked it though.
Churn butter once or twice.
All right, so I got 2 runners up and some honorable mentions, but I'm going to change one of mine to an honorable mention because I completely forgot about Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, and they're higher up than who
Same.
I have. So
Yeah.
my runners up are now. I'm going to go Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci.
Oh, wow.
Because pretty much
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
every movie those two have done together, I have loved, and I'm
They
gonna
were
go.
Scorsese's darlings for
They
a
were,
while.
but they're so good together.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, Raging Bull, Casino,
Mm-hmm.
Goodfellas. You know,
Right.
even The Irishman.
I didn't see that
The
movie,
Irishman is a really good movie, but you
like
you
4
need
hours
a day.
long,
You need
though,
a
right?
day
Yeah.
to watch it. Do some laundry while watching it or something. I don't know.
A day.
Build a house.
Write a novel.
Yeah, you could. Write a novel while that's going on.
Raise a barn.
Like
Because
the
Mark's doing
Amish.
the Amish Paradise thing.
Raise a barn on one day, soon I'll raise another. And yeah, so I'm going to do that. And my other runner-up's going to be Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I don't know how the hell I forgot those two. Those
same.
two are great and everything.
I'm kicking my own ass for forgetting those guys.
I'm doing it right now. So runners-up are Woody Allen and Diane Keaton.
Oh, nice.
Just great romantic
How many movies did they do
comedies.
together?
Oh, God. Manhattan, Mercy.
Annie Hall.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I screwed up. Hold on.
Yeah, Manhattan.
Matinee. No, not Matinee. Manhattan Murder Mystery. Annie Hall. Love and Death. Sleeper. Play It Again, Sam.
Oh, wow.
I know I'm missing
That's a lot
one,
of
too.
movies.
I know I'm missing one.
And how many did he
there
do
a
with
newer
Mia
one?
Farrow before they broke up?
I don't know.
They
I don't
did
like
probably
Mia
just as
Farrow.
many together.
Oh, really?
But I'm just saying.
See, I don't know any of his really old stuff.
Crimes and Misdemeanors.
Zelig.
Husbands
that's a good
and Wives was with Mia Farrow. I don't know. I never.
Purple
Hannah
Rose
and
of
Her
Cairo.
Sisters. Purple Rose of Cairo.
And
but
Zelig.
Woody Allen wasn't in that one though.
Oh,
He
you're
just
right. He directed
that
it.
one.
You're right. My bad.
I feel like I'm missing the.
But he
Diane
wasn't
Keaton
Zelig.
one.
Yes. At Mia Farrow.
I just realized how many of his films I haven't seen.
That's a lot of
Zelig is
movies.
hilarious.
He has his early stuff isn't. I think is great.
Zelig is an early
Zelig is
mockumentary
awesome.
too.
Yeah, Zelig
it's
is
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, before mockumentaries were really a thing, right?
Yeah, because that one came out in the very early '80s, probably around the same time as Spinal Tap, if I had to guess.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
I remember seeing that one in high school, way back when.
I also have Jack Nicholson and Danny DeVito and Chris Farley and David Spade.
Nice.
Fun stuff.
Nice. I had Tina Fey and Amy Poehler,
Nice.
Clooney and Pitt, Frost and Pegg, Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I love them together.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Bruce Willis and Sam Jackson.
Oh, I had that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. 12 movies together.
Yep.
12 movies.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Holy shit! Did they really?
Yeah.
12. Oh my
Yeah.
god! I totally. Yeah, the
Yeah,
M. Night
what the
Shyamalama
fuck?
Ding Dong movies.
Yeah.
And I do like that.
Shit.
No, they didn't do.
Sure.
I'm sorry, not 12 movies. I was thinking of somebody else. Sorry. Bruce
They
Willis and
did
Sam Jackson
Die
did
Hard
4.
with a
Die Hard with a
Vengeance.
Vengeance, Pulp Fiction, Unbreakable Glass, and they were both in Loaded Weapon together with Emilio Estevez, but
my
not,
God.
Oh,
not
yeah,
in the same
yeah.
scene.
Sam
That's
Jackson.
right. That's a great
Donald
scene.
Glover
I
character.
mean, that's
Yeah.
a great
Yeah.
movie. That's a
and
very
Emilio
underrated
Estevez,
comedy.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Who else was in that?
Everybody.
Whoopi Goldberg,
Kathy
Dennis
Ireland.
Leary,
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Tim Curry's in that movie.
yes, he
One
is.
of the
He
bad
is.
guys.
He's the bad guy.
And I think
The
William
receptionist
Shatner
from
might be in that
Moonlighting.
too.
I think everybody that was in Hollywood
Everybody,
on
yeah.
that Tuesday was in
Come
that
on
movie.
down. We're making a National Lampoon's movie.
That's a really good. That's
Yeah.
an underrated one. That's a Ski Patrol style movie. Not enough people. Go back and visit that one.
Brian, got any runners?
Yes, I do. So I've got Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, Christopher Guest, Michael
there it
McKeown,
is.
Parker Posey, and others in Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, A Mighty Win, and For Your Consideration. I've got Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Kline, John Cleese, Michael Palin in your pick, Fish Called Wanda, Fierce Creatures. Bruce Willis and Sam Jackson, the aforementioned ones I just mentioned. This one, 12 movies
Oh,
together.
that
Ben
makes
Stiller
sense.
and Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, Little Fockers, Night at the Museum, Night at the Museum, Battle for the Smithsonian, Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb, Zoolander, Zoolander 2, Permanent Midnight, which I'd never even heard
That's
of.
a dope movie.
Yeah,
I
never
was,
heard
you
of
know,
it.
I was
Good.
actually thinking about that the other day because I happened upon an Alf episode, and in Permanent Midnight, he's writing for a puppet, that's
Oh,
very
yeah?
Alf-like.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
He's
also-
writing
It's
for
a-
a puppet show.
It's very good.
Elizabeth Hurley.
Very
It's a very
unexpected.
dark
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
not
looked
necessarily.
it.
He feels like a heroin addict.
Starsky and Hutch together, the Royal Tannenbaums,
that
and they
movie.
both
I love
had
Starsky and
cameos in The Cable Guy.
Wow.
Wow. Ben, we did a lot
Yeah.
of movies.
I like
wow.
Wilson with paired with Vince Vaughn better.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Vince
they're
Vaughn,
good
you
together.
get all
too.
three of them in Starsky
yeah.
and Hutch,
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
a great movie.
yeah. That's
Oh, they
that's
made
another
a
one you
good
can
call.
do.
Good
I've also
call.
got Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter in Alice in Wonderland, Alice with the Looking Glass,
Oh, shit.
Lone Ranger, Sweeney Todd, Dark Shadows, Corpse Bride, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
That's a beautiful couple.
and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm kicking my ass for not picking those guys.
I can't. Yeah,
love
my
those
ass.
guys.
I changed mine.
Kicking my own ass.
Good picks, guys.
Awesome ass.
Awesome ass, guys.
Awesome ass.
Awesome ass, everybody.
Wow.
Worth
fine.
kicking.
Wow.
Pick your ass.
Long day today.
Wow.
Jesus. Wow. Do you guys want to do the main
Nice
chorus?
ass, everybody.
May. Oh.
Just taking a break.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's got to breathe, man.
You want
Let
a
him
solo?
breathe. No.
Go ahead, you solo.
I'm not a diva.
Are you trying to unworthy this shit?
Solo.
Are you ready? We're going to go long this
All right.
week, okay?
Long? All right, I'm watching you. I'm ready?
The
Beat me again.
Wow.
Course.
Finkel is Einhorn.
Wait! Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
Holy
Finkel.
shit, man.
Very nice.
That is
Finkel
impressive.
Einhorn.
Those are some pipes.
That's
Yeah.
what whiskey
Really?
will do.
I have zero
Technically,
breath
I've only
control.
got like half a lung, too.
I should have taken a very deeper breath than I did.
Well, the show's over. That's
We
our
blew
show.
out our microphones in the audience's ears.
If you guys want to hear other episodes when we actually get to the movie, no.
Sorry, Mark.
No, that was awesome. I wouldn't trade that for nothing. Beautiful job, everybody. That was impressive.
Read your intro. That's all I could think of was the.
Double-sided soundproof glass. There's no way that lady or that guy screamed. Great movie.
What do you know about it, pet dick? Oh, Sean Young. She fell off a horse.
Take a look at Mr. Winky.
What was I just reading? She was up for some part, but they said that she bit the guy.
Oh, sick.
Oh,
was it?
Catwoman.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
It was Catwoman.
She
Right.
showed up in a
full cat suit.
cat suit.
Well, who
she
did she
bite?
bite?
Tim Burton.
Probably Tim Burton.
Was
Yeah.
it Tim Burton?
Because she was originally supposed to be the Vicky Vale character, and then
She fell off a
the
horse.
horse. So they recast her, and then she
Okay.
was like, "No, I need to be Catwoman," and she went
And she went full Catwoman.
full
she went
psycho.
full method.
Wow.
Full metal
she got
jacket,
herself a cat suit.
full metal cat suit.
metal.
Evidently,
cat
she got up there.
Full Metal
she-
Cat box.
They were sitting behind a desk. She like pushed everything off
Yep.
the desk, started crawling
Oh, yeah.
around the desk and on the
went-
desk.
Did they film this?
No,
No,
Oh,
I wish they
thank-
did.
Too bad they
I know,
didn't
right?
film
Did
the
she get
screen
the
test.
part?
No.
no, absolutely not.
No, you know who did? Annette Bening got the part.
That's right. And then she got pregnant.
She got
Oh,
pregnant.
no.
Warren Beatty was like, "No,
No,
man,
not having any of that.
Dick, you didn't give me enough money. You didn't. Not all of you came to see Dick Tracy. Well, yeah. Where's your Catwoman now, asshole? Blessing in disguise, though,
Yeah,
because they got
I
the
think
show
we
fight for her.
lucked out.
We lucked
what
out
we
big
got.
time.
We
No offense,
absolutely
Annette
did.
Bening. You're wonderful.
Yeah, I
but
never seen her in a suit, a cat suit. She might be fucking smoking hot.
Cool, Benning.
Yeah.
Back
Oh, I'm
then,
sure
if
she's
they're in the
regular.
She's
great
always been in like
outdoors.
a
I'm
business type
absolutely
suit.
sure she
Totally.
would.
She's always wearing like regular people's. I like the other mom more. I got a thing for the other mom.
John Candy's mom?
Yeah, I
Beautiful.
like her.
Yeah. In
And the Great Outdoors. Actually,
have
I always
stuff.
forget it's.
Oh, yeah.
I always forget
trying
it's
to
a
think of who it
Netflix.
is.
Yeah. I just rewatched that movie like 2 weeks ago.
Go find
Same.
yourself
Who are
a
they talking about?
spin cycle.
The one that plays John Candy's
No,
wife.
I know, but I don't remember who the actress was.
I don't either.
Alright,
Yeah, she
blonde lady.
Yeah.
Blonde lady. She's
Very
cute.
adorable.
Not
Very
Diane
cute.
Carroll.
No.
No.
It wasn't anybody that shows up a lot. That's,
No, she showed up in like
Diane Carroll's a black woman.
No.
Yeah, she is.
she is
Who am I
Di-
thinking of? Diane.
I don't know.
Diane Rigby.
No, the blonde woman. She was.
Shelley Long.
No,
Eleanor Rigby.
Blonde Diane.
Yeah, Diane.
Diane.
not Diane Warren. Diane.
Lane.
No, not Diane. No, wait. You said Diane Carroll's black.
Yeah, for sure.
Who the fuck?
She was. I think she's probably.
Diane
Can't
Carroll was
Canon?
the one that Itchy was masturbating to.
Right.
in the Star
Oh,
Wars
that's right.
holiday
That's
special.
right. That's.
Oh, Stephanie Pharisee is her name.
Yeah.
What else has she done? I have
Yeah.
seen her in.
She played.
Oh, she's in
yeah.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
She's the mom in Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
That's
she's
what
their
it
mom in
is.
Hocus
Yeah.
Pocus.
Yeah. She was
Yeah.
also in Sideways.
She's so adorable.
She's cute. Just great picture of her too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she was on the Goldbergs one episode.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
shout out to non-Diane Carroll there.
No, I'm right.
And non-Diane Keaton.
Diane Cannon. Oh, Cannon.
Oh, Cannon.
Cannon.
right.
Yeah, not
Cannon.
Carroll.
It's fucking close enough. I mean, I wasn't.
Not even.
I wasn't
I mean, if
super
the
off.
R's touch the ground, then yes, they become N's. But you can't say I'm right and then say the wrong name. Diane Cannon, yeah, I liked her
Cannon,
too.
Diane
Yeah,
Carroll.
Big Lakers fan. That
Yes,
Diane
yes,
Cannon.
that's
She
right.
used
She
to
was
sit
one of the-
courtside with Jack Nicholson
Yep.
all the time.
Yeah,
Okay. Romance and adventure, they go together like an old pair of shoes. Maybe because the romantic journey between two people can indeed be quite an adventure filled with ups, downs, and a lot of utility bills. One thing a good romance should always be, though, is exciting. Whether it's going on a vacation, going to a movie, or going grocery shopping on a Sunday right after church gets out, but before the big game and the day before a snowstorm. Romance can indeed be a journey. Take, for example, tonight's movie, where young novelist and pre-Tom Waits sounding Kathleen Turner finds herself on a rescue mission / treasure hunt with action star, bird smuggler, and pre-Metamucil Michael Douglas. With a tropical jungle background and a lot of evil dudes with fantastic mustaches chasing after them, these two find love for one another in some of the worst situations thrown at them. Snakes, alligators, and 85% of the movie being wet. I swear, man, it's mud, rain, all while trying to avoid death at every turn and Danny DeVito under every table. Gentlemen.
Opening thoughts, right?
I was going for a dramatic pause.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's what it felt like.
We can edit Derek out.
I think he was going to say, romancing this down.
This is going to come up.
Yeah.
But now I'm just going to say, what you all think of this movie? Now I'm just gonna, what you all think of this movie?
Sorry. Do it again.
No, it's fine. Go.
From the beginning.
Who's?
Yeah, take it from the top.
I don't want to go through all the Why that? Tito, what's up? This was a Tito pick. So.
Yes. Tito pick, opening thoughts. I love this movie. I love this movie ever since the first time I saw it. I love these three actors. I was a child.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the theaters.
No.
Probably like 6 or 7, maybe, when I saw this movie. I love all three of them together. I love all three of the movies they made. I love Michael Douglas in this film. He's not quite a hero. He's not quite an asshole. He's just a really good mix of everything.
He's a asshole.
Yeah, kind of. Dan DeVito.
David asshole.
I like this Dan DeVito. You don't get a lot of this Dan DeVito besides like Taxi.
Yeah.
What else is he a jerk in? Matilda.
Yeah.
Like, but for the most part, he's just this lovable fucking guy. And even in this, he's still pretty lovable when he's falling off of shit.
Which he does a lot.
Yeah, he does quite a bit. Everything's so tall and he's so not. And I love Kathleen Turner. Ever since I was a child and I saw her.
She never looked hotter than this movie.
No, she looks phenomenal.
She is
this is a great time for her.
Yeah.
And I loved her voice.
She was only like 29 when this movie was made.
She was 29?
Oh, wow.
She was younger than that. Wow.
Well, she was born in 54. The movie came out in 84. I'm assuming they filmed it a year before.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about 29-ish.
See, we know math.
I can do math.
But this is kind of like a breakout for her.
Yeah.
And Michael Douglas is really, you can see it. He's a producer and he produces a lot of shit. Smart guy when it came to making movies, not just putting himself in them, but putting other people and helping them kind of get their careers going. And it's Zemeckis, and Zemeckis is just really good at making fun-ass movies.
He is.
You want a fun movie, you get Robert Zemeckis. I don't know that he gets the same kind of... Because he's in that Coppola, Lucas... Spielberg.
That new Hollywood group.
Richard Donner, like that crew of directors that were all kind of buddies. But he just knew how to make a fun-ass movie. Yeah. And this is a fun movie. Yeah, they don't make them like this anymore.
They don't.
Sad.
Yeah, I agree. I don't watch this movie very often. I always forget how good it is. It's a good movie. It's just a fantastic adventure film. You know, in an innocent time where you could just make movies and you didn't really care about anything, just... made them and just have them be fun. Early Robert Zemeckis movies are fun. I don't like his later stuff. When he gets too serious, I get bored. But like this, Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, that Robert Zemeckis, he does make fun movies.
Yeah.
And I like this one a lot too. It's an awesome cast. I love Danny DeVito and almost everything. I love him in this movie. Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas, they do have a great chemistry together. Michael Douglas is a very odd kind of leading man. I don't find him, like, traditionally the handsome lead. He actually can look very creepy, especially when with long matted hair over his face.
He's got very intense eyes.
He does. He kind of has a Klaus Kinski vibe going about him when he gets super excited. You're kind of like, oh, okay, dial it back there. But he's fun to watch, and the two of them together are great. It's a fun chase movie. It's a fun adventure film, and I like it a lot.
Nice. I'm not gonna lie, I'm bummed that I hadn't seen this yet. This was my first time watching.
Oh, are
this.
you kidding?
I missed it in its day. I missed it in my young adult beginning of my whole cinematic self-discovery period.
Yeah.
And even when I bought this on
You were
Vudu,
still touching your pee-pee?
I was like, you know,
Oh, Kathleen.
When I was discovering
Kathleen
myself.
Turner has big fucking talent.
Did she make you feel funny? Like when you used
I
to
thought
climb
it
the
was
rope in gym class?
But and even when I bought this on Vudu, I probably like a year ago, I never jumped to watch it, so it never happened, and that was a discredit to myself. This was a lot of fun. It hit a bunch of great tropes that they may even have been the pioneers for. I can't I don't know, like the movies that were around after and right after or right before, but I felt like there were things that had that this movie had that I've definitely seen before, but I feel like this was like the start of it. Which is great, and then the chemistry, like you said, between Douglas and Turner, just awesome. They're really good together, and obviously it's clear. Like I have seen War of the Roses,
Okay.
so I did like that movie.
Yeah, that's dark.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
dark.
exactly the adventure.
Yeah, no,
fun
it's still a great
fancy
movie.
Oh, I love that film.
But just all around fun flick. I'm really glad that I finally saw it, and I'm definitely going to watch it again eventually.
Awesome.
They're doing a remake of War of the Roses with Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, no kidding.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's a.
Interesting couple.
Yeah, that would be good.
Great actors. So
Yeah,
hopefully
absolutely.
It works
Geez,
out.
usually it's America adapting
British stuff, yeah.
It's the other way around. Yeah.
for
Well,
them.
technically, the story of the War of the Roses is an English story, so that's
Good, taking it back.
they're taking it back.
We're
Thank
taking
you,
them
Mark.
all back. See this one?
Right.
Oh,
We want it back.
That's
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
So, like Tito, I watch this movie constantly. I watch it at least once a year. I saw this movie when it came out back in '84. I was in high school, and I've loved it ever since. I've seen it countless times on TV since then, and now I own it, and I watch it at least once a year. It's a great movie to have on. I know it by heart. I could leave the room, make a sandwich, come back, and just pick it up from wherever it is. I don't even need to pause it. It's like you said, you guys have said it all. The cast is amazing. The chemistry is amazing. The story is so much fun. It's got everything. It's got action, romance. It's got comedy. It's just a great time.
Yeah.
And I loved it so much. And I still do. The sequel, not so much, though.
Oh, Jewel of the Nile.
Jewel
I
of
watch
the
it
Nile,
from
like-
time to time, but yeah.
I
it's,
think I was so enamored by this movie that and I was really excited to see Jewel on the Nile when that came out, that
Yeah.
when I saw it in the movies, I was like,
yeah.
it just didn't have that spark
Yeah, it
that
doesn't
the
have the
first
same
one
thing.
did.
Yeah, agreed.
This was lightning in a bottle. The three leads are firing on all cylinders, and it's an awesome story, awesome film. Everybody check it out if you haven't already. Seriously,
And I think they tried
lot
to
of
make a
fun.
fourth film, but it just never worked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they tried to do a third sequel to this one,
Yeah.
but it never got off the ground. It got stuck in development hell.
all right.
Okay.
Shall we start?
Yeah.
All right. Romancing the Stone, 1984, directed by Robert Zemeckis, as we said, and starring Hank Pym, V.I. Warshawski, the Penguin, El Guapo from the Three Amigos,
Yeah.
and the late great Mary Ellen Trainor, and Sarah Paulson's life partner.
Oh, she died?
That's right.
Marion?
Yeah, she died a couple of years ago.
No kidding.
Is she Zemeckis' wife or Donner's wife? Who was she married
She
to?
was Zemeckis' wife.
Zemeckis'
Yeah,
wife?
because-
right?
Schuler was Donner's wife, right? Wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
Laura Donner.
Laura Donner.
Yeah, Schuler Donner.
Yeah, Robertson. Yeah.
All of whom who returned for the 1980. Well, not all, but
Most.
yeah, they returned to the
big
85
three.
sequel, Jewel of the Nile, as well as reteaming for 89's War of the Roses, directed by DeVito himself. Some interesting bits of trivia. Diane Thomas, a waitress in Malibu, wrote the screenplay. It was her only produced screenplay, as she died in a car accident while working on a project with Steven Spielberg.
Oh,
after
shit.
this.
Wow.
Yeah, in a car that Michael Douglas
Yes,
bought
the
for her.
Porsche she was a
Oh,
passenger in was when it crashed, it was bought as a thank you gift from Michael Douglas.
Oh, shit.
This was the first team up between Zemeckis and composer Alan Silvestri,
Yep.
who he has hired. He hired him for this. He hired him to write a temporary score, but it was so good that they kept him, and the two have worked together ever since. Zemeckis has never used another composer ever since this movie. And Romancing the Stone is actually jeweler's lingo, and refers to a step in preparing a gem to be used in jewelry. That's what romancing a gem.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's like polishing it.
Double entendre.
Yes.
There's a lot of romancing
A lot
with
of
that.
sex.
Yeah.
All right,
Lot
so
of
strap
sex,
in, because this is an adventure.
It is.
We start in the Old West, actually. Yeah, wasn't this supposed to be a jungle movie?
But Mark's right. Even Angelique's wet.
Oh,
Even out in the desert.
That's true.
it's true. Oh, she
Everybody
looks so
looks,
good.
She looks
everybody
so
looks
good.
wet in this movie.
Yes.
Everybody is.
Mark said that. I'm like, he's goddamn right. Even Angelique's all wet in the opening few seconds of this movie.
Jessica Rabbit narrates a tale of an evil outlaw about to do nasty things to a beautiful blonde. But she turns the tables and murders him, escaping and being saved by her heartthrob cowboy. Was it Jesse?
Jesse.
Okay.
Yeah.
The much too
The man
long...
who stole my Bible. But there's one thing about the West. Ugly has brothers.
That's a good line.
The much too long, corny romance novel scene finally comes to an end.
You thought it was too long?
A little bit.
I liked it.
I did.
I think once she escaped and you see the posse coming after her and Jesse saves her, and that part kind of stretched out a little bit too long for me.
Oh.
Not a big deal. But
I think it is.
I don't know. I was just trying to be verbose and clever when I wrote the synopsis.
How did it work out?
And not very good. I also was I was in a bad mood because I had brought home coffee ice cream to eat while I watched this, and it was melted, so I had to put it in the freezer and it never froze
Where'd you
properly.
get it? Connecticut?
Yeah, where'd you go?
No, I just coffee ice cream. I bought it on my lunch break.
I know it's warming up a little bit.
I bought it on my lunch break and I accidentally left it in the truck.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I thought it would be cold enough that it would be fine, no
No.
big deal. So I didn't go back out and get it.
Spending the 50s this week. Dad.
Brought it home, put it in the freezer. It wasn't in there long enough
It
to
didn't
refreeze.
The one day that
So
I
you
didn't get my ice cream. I was very
You
upset.
drank a cup of coffee ice cream, is what you're telling me.
No, it's in the freezer. It's waiting for me.
Oh, it's going to be so good when you finally
see how
get
you
it.
have to take it out on this movie, though.
I didn't mean to.
When you get it, it's going to be so good. I love it. It's true.
So the scene comes to an end. It's finally revealed that Kathleen Turner's Joan Wilder is finishing writing her newest romance novel. She lives alone in an apartment with her cat, Romeo, and with whom she shares a romantic celebratory dinner with, complete with roaring fire and Kenny G background music. She also reaches into her cabinet full of nips and pulls out a Grand Marnier, which makes me sick to my stomach to think about because I don't know why she would drink that straight.
That straight.
It's so gross.
It's orange.
No good?
Yeah, it's orange flavored.
One of my least
stuff that
favorite
you use-
liqueurs.
It's stuff that you use to mix with other
Right.
stuff. Like Grand Marnier would go in a margarita,
Right.
Okay.
to give it like an enhanced flavor.
Like amaretto. Not a lot of people would drink amaretto just
My wife
straight.
does.
I
She likes that
I actually do
Di-Serrano.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Di-Serrano on the rocks.
So some people would then.
Yeah.
I guess us weirdos. I
Yeah.
don't know.
You call my wife a weirdo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry,
I don't know anything about this
All,
stuff.
everyone.
I don't know.
married to you, isn't she, Brian?
I
You
guess.
don't know.
After passing out on the couch, she's awakened by a phone ringing, but no one is there. She realizes she's running late to meet her publisher. As she's leaving, she receives a package which she pays no mind to as she leaves. And then after she's gone,
And that
I'll
sweet
take
old
the
lady.
elevator, rapists. I fucking love that part.
I love that old lady.
that old lady is hilarious.
You know, rapists.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think she's my MVP.
Yeah, that's a hysterical part. It's always funny.
Oh, she makes me laugh every time. She's only in the movie for a whole minute.
After she's gone, a mysterious man in a trench coat and fedora and carrying a copy of one of her books attempts to break into her apartment.
Hello.
He kills a maintenance man who confronts him.
Yeah, what a jerk.
I know, right?
Where do you think he put him?
I was wondering the same thing because she clearly returns later and she doesn't see a body.
Yeah.
There's
The
no
boiler
blood.
room.
So
The
like he
boiler
cleaned
room.
up after himself,
Yeah,
Janitor's
right?
closet.
You would think there'd be blood on the
he
floor.
had to take him somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I don't. It's a big place. Nobody heard him fucking slamming his head on the steps on the way down. I don't know.
Throw him down the elevator shaft.
Oh,
He's in the
Yeah,
elevator.
maybe he's the Tell him about the elevator.
Apparently nobody uses
Goes
it.
up and down.
Goes up and down. I just got that. The old lady took him.
Yeah.
Right.
She comes out and like, oh, I got you. How about some money if you keep this quiet? Are you a rapist? No, just
Nope,
a corrupt
just a
cop.
murderer.
No, I'll take that
Maybe he
body.
killed her too.
Do you want to be?
He
I
never.
know we don't see her again, so
Maybe
he could
she
very
heard
well.
the noise
She-
came out. He
she
killed
was
her
like,
and he
"Nope."
threw them both in
Yeah.
her apartment.
Everybody in that apartment.
He never fixed my leaky roof. Go ahead and kill him. I'll chop him up and put him in the crematorium for you. That's how she sounds, by the way.
It's pretty close.
There you go.
She's. I don't know. She had a very Zelda.
She did.
Oh yeah.
What's her name?
Is
This
she?
house is clear.
Is she the woman who sticks her head out in The Professional when they're trying?
Oh
to
no,
get,
but I love that. Why don't you leave?
Why
that
don't you
family
leave that night?
alone?
And Gary Oldman shoots
Yeah.
the wall. He said, "Go back inside." I thought that was her for a minute. Sorry.
It's all right.
It's possible. She's so tiny.
There aren't too
They're
many
like
of them
20
out.
years apart,
I guess
so
there
it's
are a
possible.
lot of tiny old ladies.
She would have been
out there.
100 in the professional.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That movie did come out a lot later. Did it though? Yeah.
90-something?
Yeah, like 15 years maybe.
Yeah, because Natalie Portman was like 10,
Something like that.
something like that.
But maybe she looked older than she was. You know, like she had that Wilford Brimley thing going.
That's true. It
Oh,
was the
so she
70s
was like
and
40
80s.
years old, maybe?
That's
All the
Maybe.
smoking. She was actually
She was younger than
45.
Kathleen Turner in that movie. She just smoked a lot. We did it all when I
more
was
than
a
Kathleen
lass.
Turner.
She turned Kathleen Turner on the cigarette.
that's
So the
true.
only thing that bugs me about Kathleen Turner is in that opening scene is her gray teeth. That they tried to cover up the smoking.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't notice
Oh,
how
I
gray her
never
teeth
noticed
are?
that.
Oh, I don't even know if I
Oh,
want to go
yeah.
back and look at that.
No,
Yes.
don't shatter that image.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
That's
thank
the
you.
only thing that bothers me. Every
I
time
never noticed.
when she's crying,
Yeah.
she's finishing up her story and,
Yeah.
and she's talking to the cat. It's like, oh my God, your teeth are so gray.
Oh, I
You can tell the smoking has already started taking a toll.
Well, you can hear it in the
by,
voice.
Like the Argyle socks. That always,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I'm always
didn't.
like, oh, she looks terrible.
I didn't really catch the voice in most of it, but the narration. When she was
narration.
narrating, I was like, oh yeah, okay, there's that rasp. But like her regular scenes with Douglas and stuff, she didn't really seem like that to me.
Well, because she was
Oh,
covered
she's
in
got
mud
that
through half
smoky
the
voice.
movie. Yeah.
She has
Her
a
teeth were-
smoky
She's
voice.
out in the fresh
She has
air.
a smoky voice.
Yeah, smoky
she
voice.
does. Yes.
Sultry.
Hello. It's sultry.
Sultry.
I'm Kathleen Turner.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Just draw-
Oh, that was spot on.
Am I Kathleen Turner or Mark Marguerite?
Oh no, I was thinking of
Ventura.
what the hell's that guy's name that was in Armageddon? Oh, David, I'm so
Harvey
happy.
Firestein?
Yeah.
Harvey Firestein.
Oh, you think
honey, I'm
Independence
so
Day?
happy.
Yeah, Independence Day.
Fuck my lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, no, never mind.
And Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, David.
Yeah.
David.
happy.
You look like your mother.
All really good Harvey Firestein impersonations.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
When you're fat, you can do a Harvey Firestein impression. It's very easy. I've noticed.
Okay, or Jewish.
Yeah.
Or Jewish.
Right?
And if you're all three, you're spot.
I want you to make me a woman. Oh, I'm so happy.
Enough already. It looks like a man. How would you know, bitch? You know, that's a great movie, Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah, it is.
It has nothing to do with this, though. I'm
we
sorry.
got to
Yeah,
find a way
let's-
to get that one in there somewhere.
Let's go.
All right, so as he's breaking in, Joan is at a restaurant with her publisher, Gloria, played by Holland Taylor, who is now, who is being extremely mean about the men in the restaurant, by the way.
Dude, that's
She's
it's a
jerk.
bar full of humps.
Right, but like, some, I don't know, so like the nerdy guy,
Say
like
humps
she's,
or hunks?
Humps.
I forget,
UMP.
I
Like
forget
they're
what she,
humped,
Yeah.
hump shaped,
Yeah.
well, that's because they're all
people?
slouched. They're at the bar and they're all
Humps.
slouched.
because they're bald.
There's like a
No,
bunch
no,
of
no.
dudes that like.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of them are bald. And
You
one
know
of them
what
is
bothered me? I forget what she says, but she makes a comment about the nerdy guy, and I'm like, well, that's a little lean. That's a little mean.
Oh, the one that looked like Ted Raimi?
Yes, yes, I totally thought it was him at first.
Dude, yeah, he's absolutely for sure.
I mean, and it makes sense, considering what we know about Holland Taylor now. So, man hating.
She dated a couple
right.
of those dudes. Not great.
They ruined her.
She the mom? I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's all right.
Lastly, is she Charlie Sheen's mom in Two and a Half Men?
2.5
Yeah.
Men.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you. I thought so. Continue.
Not Gloria, but Joan pines over wanting to find her perfect man, like the fictional one she created in her book. Meanwhile, in Colombia,
Jesse.
Elaine, our friend to the show, Mary Ellen Trainor, is escaping a fancy house incognito. As she attempts, a 12-year-old knocks her out and hops in her sports car, driving like a pro race driver somehow.
Kid's good, man.
He
They
is.
start young out there, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, like you can definitely see it's an adult in some of the shots, but like,
As far as I'm
yeah.
concerned, as a kid.
But when he
Yeah.
first takes off, it's a kid driving the car, and I'm like, holy shit.
I was suspending disbelief, Derek.
We should.
Trying to, take a trip to the land of make
And he
believe.
throws a bolo at her. I always thought bolos were so fucking cool.
Yeah.
You don't see them anymore.
Is that what that's
No.
called?
Yeah.
I couldn't think of what it
fucking
was.
love
but yeah.
that stuff. You don't see them ever anymore.
He threw his clackers at her.
No, and at first, like, so I hadn't seen it. So like when I first saw it, I'm thinking like, oh, he's just gonna he's gonna throw it at the car. Maybe he doesn't like rich people or something. And
Yeah.
there's like a fancy car coming out.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh, he's making a social
Right,
statement.
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
right. Like he's just like come on, because like I didn't expect a 12-year-old
like Danny DeVito, Americano, poo, I spit on him.
I didn't expect a 12-year-old, a random 12-year-old, to be like an agent of these, this crime family, or whatever.
Or Zolo.
So he drives her off.
I come to find, I like when little kids are bad guys.
Oh yeah,
there was this, and then I think it was
Hostel.
either.
Do you remember Hostel?
Yep,
the kids in the village.
They ended up being the good guys, though. They end up helping at
eventually,
the end.
but
the little spray painting kids and Hot Fuzz.
Oh yeah, the hoodies.
But there's like a crime boss or a gang leader who's a child in one of the RoboCop sequels. I can't remember if it's two or it's part two.
Yeah. It's Tom Noonan, but he dies. Oh, he doesn't die. He becomes the second. He becomes a robot, but the little kid takes over.
The little kid.
He's got that briefcase machine gun.
Yeah, he's in an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
That's the only other thing I know him in.
Okay,
but I love when little kids are bad guys and they're hanging with the adults. Sorry again, I keep interrupting, Derek. Kids suck is the message.
So the evil kid brings her to a pier where a group of men overseen by Ralph, Danny DeVito, load her into a boat. Ralph and his who you think is his boss, is just a regular boss, Ira, argue about their current scheme. Turns out he's his cousin. It's a family affair. Joan arrives back to her apartment to find it broken into and ransacked. Thankfully, they left her nips. The alcohol.
Hello.
The alcohol. Yeah, sorry. Unfortunately, the cat is still alive. The phone rings and Elaine tells her she needs her help. She asks Joan if she got the envelope in the mail. Inside is a treasure map. She tells her she needs her to bring the map to her in Colombia. In Colombia, like you had said in your original, the brother-in-law is killed.
Yes,
and that's why she's trying to escape.
It was her brother-in-law's map. He sends it to her.
Yep.
They'll hurt me.
Yeah.
She stinks in this movie.
Who, Mary Ellen Trainor?
Yeah, she's terrible. She
mom,
faints for no reason.
She doesn't have a lot to do. That's
you know what?
Hurt me.
You know what I've come to realize? She's not good unless she's playing a mom. Either Monster Squad or Goonies. No, she's annoying as hell in the Lethal Weapon movies.
I think she's hilarious in those. When she's a psychiatrist?
She's obnoxious.
Oh, no, she's not. She's
I cannot stand her.
I love her.
I don't mind her in those.
I don't like her in those. Especially in the second one. She keeps showing up. Riggs, we can talk anytime. Will you stop? You're an idiot. You're setting yourself up for failure every time you try to approach this guy. You're giving psychiatry
She has a passion for mental health, and she's just trying to get through to him.
No, she's ridiculous and stubborn.
True. If she gave up,
go
she
home
wouldn't
to
be
the
a good
Goonies
therapist.
and leave Riggs alone.
Gloria tries to talk her out of going. Elaine is her sister, but she has to go. That's what she says. But Gloria points out the fact and really sets up the idea that this is a woman who has no experience out in the real world. She's a city person. She doesn't, know how to survive, and she's going to a dangerous place all alone. And that she's just not gonna do good there. As she gets in the cab, we see the trenchcoat guy watching, and he follows after her. Thankfully, just so you know, I write this in real time, so that's why it starts off.
You're doing a
it's
great
trenchcoat guy until we finally find out who he is.
No, that's fine. That's how you should do it.
I do like his coat. He's got a nice coat, and the fedora is
sharp.
nice too.
It's all sharp.
And
I want a trench
killer
coat
mustache,
and
literally.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we don't have to endure the flight to Colombia. We're just
going to assume it was a good flight.
Quick cut next at the airport, and it looks more like a bus station. Chaos surrounds Joan as she's out of her element.
Have you never been to an airport?
I have.
Outside of an airport?
Well, no.
They all look like taxi stations and bus stations.
No, but it looked like she just stepped off the flight and walked into that area.
Well,
this is a smaller airport.
It's Colombia.
It's not Logan.
Not everything is Logan.
Jeez.
Not everything is Boston. Did you see any Dunkin' Donuts or copies of The Departed at that airport?
People were getting pigs on the bus.
Yeah.
That's right. Crates of birds. Or chickens, or whatever they were.
Habeas corpus.
MVP, the
pig. Ralph gets there, walks right past her, which is funny because this happens a couple times.
Yeah. You think he would have showed up on time and noticed the lady who is on the book?
The American lady.
Yeah. He had the book in his hand.
There's a gaggle full of people that don't look like her. And she sticks out like a sore thumb.
She really does.
She's trying to find a bus to...
Still wearing that ugly, ugly coat, too.
Yeah, not great.
Cartagena?
Cartagena.
Yeah.
Is this the bus to Cartagena? Sí. Cartagena.
When she is approached by the trench coat guy...
It's not easy to say.
No. Who sets her in the wrong direction to Castillo. or Castillo.
Two L's?
Yeah, 2 L's.
Yeah, that
Castillo.
makes a
like
Y
ye.
sound.
Yeah,
Ye.
ye.
Castillo.
Ralph also misses her again as he searches. He sees her at the last minute as the bus pulls away and realizes she's on the wrong bus. So, thankfully for her, because who knows what would have happened if he didn't notice.
The movie would have been
movie
over.
would have been over.
A lot quicker.
Joan on the ride, she distracts the driver of the bus, trying to find out where they're really going, and he crashes into a parked Jeep. The bus empties out,
Full of exotic birds.
That's right. The trench coat man Zolo tells her another bus will come, separating her from the rest of the passengers who walk off. And as they walk out of sight,
Like this happens all the time.
right,
They just start leaving.
We'll just keep walking. As they walk out of sight, he returns back to her and pulls a gun. Well, what does he say? He says like. She says, well, where are they all going? And he's like, they're stupid, or they don't know.
Yeah.
Like something like that. Like, they don't know.
Yeah. That's true.
As they walk out of sight, he returns back to her and pulls a gun. He's interrupted by our hero, Jack T. Colton, played by the producer, Michael Douglas. A shootout ensues, and Zolo escapes. On the road, Ralph is stopped by Zolo, who flashes a badge, so that you find out he's... And I didn't know what he was at first. Like, he kind of seems like he's... like 5 different things, right? I mean, he's just a crooked cop, but he's also part of the army, or
He's a little
He's
of
a
everything.
general, I believe.
is he?
I think they
Well, they
refer
call
to
it-
General Zolo or
Yeah.
something.
Well, yeah, but they also
Yeah.
call him the colonel. Like they,
Colonel?
yeah, they
Maybe
list
it's
off like a
Colonel.
bunch of nicknames that they call him, and they're all
Ira,
different.
yeah, Ira gives a
ranks.
bunch of names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he kind of commandeers Ralph's car. Jack's Jeep is the one that's crashed. Joan asks him for help and finds out that she's nowhere. That's when she finds out she's nowhere near Cartagena.
Cartagena.
Joan offers him money to get help to get there, and she will pay. She ends up paying him with American Express traveler's checks, which really dates us.
Yeah, well, I remember I had some of those. I went to Italy when I was a senior in high school.
Me too.
And my mom got me a bunch, and I was like, oh, this is what they're like.
Right.
Because you only ever see them in the movies.
It used to be like gold when
Yeah.
they
You
travel.
only see it
Like
in
the
the
way they
movies.
talked about
Commercials
it.
all the time,
Right.
too, with Carl Malden. It's like,
Yeah.
And they used to, the American Express or the joke used to pop up in so many 80s movies. Batman, it's
Oh, right.
mentioned.
The actual card, like, take it anywhere, right?
Friday
Don't leave
the
home without it.
13th, Part 6, there's an American Express card that falls out of one of the victims. And this movie, it's just, it was one of the signature moments of the 80s.
Ralph delivers Zolo to the police headquarters, which is more like a military kind of place.
I love the scene when he commandeers his car too, and
Right.
then he's like, "Oh shit!" And
Right. The whole
holding
time he's hiding
holding
himself.
his hand over his half his face, and Zolo's like, "Don't I know you?" No. I hate America.
That's what I was going to say. That's where he has the
I love
American
that.
quote. Yeah.
And then it cuts right back to Jack and
on
Joan trudging in the rain. Joan falls behind. Jack takes her suitcase, causing her to smile at the chivalry. Think that he's going to, be a nice guy and carry for her, but he tosses it down the hill instead to lighten the load. And
Yeah.
she's like, "Now you can walk faster." Before she can complain, she slips and is washed down the embankment.
Yeah.
And Jack follows right away.
Yeah,
not on
the
purpose.
mudslide.
Yeah. Which is a funny scene.
It is a funny
Yeah,
scene.
it's
It's a
great.
fun scene. And they
He
all-
lands face first in her crotch.
Yeah.
Right. Right. That's where the
And they
chemistry
hold
begins.
it there for a few
Oh yeah,
minutes.
yeah. And then he starts laughing. What a ride! Huh, Joan Wilder?
On Ira's boat, he gets the call from Ralph, who tells him about Joan being on the wrong bus and gives him the update, and tells him he's stuck at the military compound, and he struggles to keep his identity hidden even more than the car. He's like hiding himself there, and then he finds a wanted poster.
Oh, I love how he's like sitting on top of their desk there, the countertop, while he's on the phone. Oh yeah, Ma. Yeah. Right. I walks by. I'm all right, Ma.
Oh no! Ira informs Elaine of Joan's predicament after she gets off the phone with him and tells her about Zolo, who apparently is the guy who killed her husband, and is captain of the special police. Or we still never clear.
Secret Service, CIA, whatever their version of the CIA is.
Ira repeats his look at those snappers joke for the third time, which kind of made me wonder if it's foreshadowing to how he may meet his end, and it's quite close.
Yeah.
Almost. Jack and Joan, having cleaned up as best as possible, they share some witty banter, displaying how different they are. We get to see like them, kind of breaking the ice and warming up a little bit to each other. Very standard stuff. But like I said, this film has been around for a long time. Maybe it really set that standard. A bullet misses Joan suddenly, and the two hide as Zolo and the cops are at the top of the hill firing at them. Jack realizes that they're after her, not him.
He also realizes that he shot the cops. He's like, He's like, shit. That's a hilarious scene. He's talking to her, but she's not there.
Right.
Yeah.
She's trying to escape. I love that part.
They escape into the jungle below, even swinging on vines, a la Tarzan.
That's great, the bridge scene.
Yeah. They find a crashed plane with some rotted corpses. They also share some rum. I think it's rum.
Nope, it's
No,
Jose Cuervo.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, because she said that was my sister's favorite drink. God, I love those fly boys.
They kind of ransack the fuselage and find some stuff, including a bunch of weed.
A couple of kilos of...
He discovers the map as well. He finds
and a copy of Rolling Stone.
And that's right.
Oh, God, when did the Doobie Brothers break up? Shit.
80s.
Yep. As they sit by a weed-fueled fire, he inspects the map. But Joan says she doesn't care. She doesn't care about the map. She's adamant that the map is only important because it's what she needs to save her sister. The police arrive at a military compound where Zolo is given a suit by a soldier for some reason.
Cutting, military uniform.
Right. Cutting again very quickly to the campfire. Joan is now less uptight. Thanks to weed. Thanks to the weed smoke and
and a jar of olives.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Which she eats so
gross.
sexily, too. I love how she eats those olives.
I don't
Even
know
with
how
those
she
great
do
teeth.
I think if I was starving in the jungle and that was what my option was, I don't even think I'd eat.
Well, it's
I
either
like
that or the
olives.
snake.
Yeah, you eat
I would
that.
eat. Yeah,
You
I'd
could
probably
eat
eat
a
the snake.
It tastes like chicken.
Yeah, is it poisonous? Yeah, but very tasty.
They taste like chicken. I've had some.
She asks Jack about his past.
I've had gator.
Tastes like
I've had gator.
fish. Sorry.
I heard
It's
gators.
a gamey fish.
I heard,
No, see, I didn't find it fishy or gamey.
Well, maybe
It was like chicken.
Yeah.
It really did. It tasted
We
like
had,
chicken.
it was a German restaurant. We had alligator meatballs.
Oh, no, I had it down in Florida. It was like...
you got a better choice of gator.
Gator fritters or something like that.
I like the flavor of gamey meat. Like,
Well, then you
I
would've
like
liked these.
deer. I
It was
like
good.
duck. Like that kind of
Cat.
dark, greasy a little bit. I love that. I love that.
I
Horse.
like duck.
You like horse?
Little greasy
I've
horse.
never had horse.
Neither have I. I won't go near one.
Although I will say there are no cows in Aruba, and yet they have the best burgers in the world. So I think maybe I have had horse. I'm not sure.
Or people.
Yeah.
So she asks about the Soylent Green. She asks about Jack's past. He's been in Colombia for a long time. He tells her that he came down there on a coffee boat. He loved the ocean, dreams of buying a boat for himself. He's got a picture of a nice sailboat or a schooner.
A schooner is a sailboat.
And he wants to sail around the world. Big dreams. The military spots Jack and Joan in a village that they arrive at. They are directed to the home of Juan, who has apparently is the one guy in town who has a car, but not a phone.
Yeah.
He
hates phones.
He doesn't like them.
They can trace them. They can hear his phone calls.
He opens this like kind of square peephole thing.
Yeah.
And just
In his
sticks
door.
a gun right on their face.
Lost.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Who told you I had a car?
As they turn to leave, they're faced with all the angry villagers that kind of
pointed them
that way.
in that direction.
But when he hears the name Joan Ryder, he pulls the gun
Wilder.
back and Wilder. He pulls the gun back and questions her.
Juanita!
He is a fan, apparently.
Yeah.
How are you going to write your way out of this one, Joan Wilder?
Yeah,
I love that he calls her Joan Wilder.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Because the relationship is like developing, but it's still this like contractual.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
You're going to give me money. I'm going to get you here, Joan Wilder.
$500 in traveler's check.
The famous author.
Yeah, right.
So
I love it. Joan Wilder? Joan Wilder? And then
he goes, "This is the woman I read you the stories on it
on Saturday."
So the angry guy gets his face changes. He has the biggest fucking smile.
Oh, he's Juanita.
He's terrified.
And suddenly Joan is C-3PO in the Ewok village. She's just
true.
she's
true.
golden god.
Legendary.
I read audiobooks. He's telling Jack, you got to read this one. You got to read. Take I got more than one copy. Take that one.
Zolo and the soldiers arrive at Juan's casa, but he and the two Americans
that's great.
they escape in Juan's truck, the little mule.
Yeah,
which is,
Who told you I had
Ford.
a car? I just got a little
Bronco.
mule.
Is it a
Yeah, it's a
Bronco?
Bronco.
Very cool chase.
Yeah.
They chase the trio. That they escape over a river.
But I love the whole time they're being chased by Zolo and his men, and Juan is pointing out, see that tree? My brother planted that tree. And over there was where my mother was born.
He's hilarious.
He is great.
He's hilarious in Three Amigos, too. He's really
he is. I forgot he was El Guapo.
El Guapo,
Did you say I have a plethora?
As Ralph grips a payphone, gripes on a payphone.
Yeah.
Sorry, not grips. Although he's gripping the handle, I guess.
He's griping while gripping.
As Ralph gripes on a payphone to Ira, he spots Joan and Jack arrive.
Wait a minute, they're here.
Right. After outing
with
him,
some guy. What? I don't know. She likes guys. So don't you.
right.
I love that.
I put after outing him to the audience, he hangs up on his cousin. Joan calls and speaks to him right after checking in on Elaine. They look to part ways, but Jack suggests dinner and sends her to the hotel to clean up while he gets new clothes for them. The two enjoy a carnival or some sort of thing that's going on in the town, in the square.
They enjoy a dance. And let's talk about Michael Douglas's outfit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a Bee Gees outfit if I've ever seen it.
Well, it was
Those
the early
collars,
80s.
It doesn't matter. There's no excuse.
It's very, you're in Colombia. They wear a lot
I
of
don't
lighter
care.
linen.
Right.
Exactly.
No way.
hot down
Very
there.
hot there. It's very hot.
It's hot and wet.
It was the only
And,
time he was dry.
Funny thing is, the scenes with him and her dancing,
Yeah.
they were all kind of filmed without him knowing that they were filming.
Oh, no kidding.
Danny DeVito, not Danny DeVito.
No, Zemeckis.
Zemeckis kept the
camera
rolling.
That,
and
that's good.
And they
'cause
were really
look
just dancing with the
natural.
extras.
Having a good
Right.
time.
That's
Right.
awesome. Yeah,
Which is
wow.
cool. I like that scene. And the romantic chemistry really starts to show in this scene.
She gets her hair did.
Right, right.
She
That
does some
dress, she
makeup.
looks amazing in that dress.
Yeah,
That's
she
a
looks
really,
fantastic.
really hot dress. Ralph spots Joan's bag and attempts to steal it while the two dance. He accidentally upsets a large brutish woman who manhandles the little guy out of the area. She just beats the shit
She
out of
beats the
him.
crap
It's
out of
fantastic.
him. Yeah. Lazy punches, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
I don't think she's connecting with those.
I don't know if all of them landed, but
it's very like
they did their job.
She's laboring in some of those.
Jack and Joan share a kiss, followed by a naked conversation in bed, which maybe they had sex.
Fucking wow,
Yeah.
dude! They're just laying on each other.
I would
on top of each
imagine
other
they
They're
did.
naked. I'm assuming they had
I would
sex.
imagine
Fucking
they
love
did.
it.
And-
He's right on top of her. If they didn't have sex, then they don't know how.
And she's a totally different
They're
person.
soaking.
She's a
Yes.
totally different character after this. So, sex changes people.
Yeah.
It really does.
Totally does.
So I'm told.
I mean, the jungle for sure.
The world may never know. In the morning, they again need to escape Zolo and his men. This time, hot wiring a car that happens to be Ralph, who's asleep in the back.
Everybody commandeers Ralph's car, that tiny little
Poor
piece
guy,
of shit.
Is that when he tries to he's like,
Yeah.
I'm hot wiring? She's like, why not just use the key?
Yeah.
Little things like that make this movie fun.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah, it's very well written.
Yeah.
They have now decided to follow the map. So to hell with the sister, I guess.
Well, he convinces her that if they get the
Right.
treasure, what they don't know it's at the end of the map,
Right.
that they'll have bargaining power.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're very close because
Yeah. He
Juan
recognizes.
gets them to the Devil's Fork.
Yes, the El
Yes.
Tenedor del
Salvador
Diablo.
Diablo.
All the
Yeah.
hints. They find a cave, and where they think the treasure is located, they unearth a ceramic bunny.
Yeah,
And
Leche
like
de
a
la
pool of
Madre.
milk.
Right.
Yeah.
And a pool of milk.
It's a very weird spot.
Leche de la Madre.
It turns into chocolate milk. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Nestle.
It's very cool.
They break the ceramic bunny and find a bright green gem the size of a tennis ball.
Because he thinks that it was somebody playing a joke.
Right,
And
right.
She
And
says, well,
she points out
in one of my stories,
right,
they hid
exactly.
the real treasure inside the statue. So he breaks
So
it.
she's very clever. She's a clever woman. Before they can celebrate finding it, Ralph appears behind them and steals it. He exposes Jack's plan to romance her, title of the movie, in order to get the stone. Before he can gloat any further, Ralph takes off, seeing the military cars coming over the hill. I love this scene.
Oh, where he's running.
He's running.
And he's pointing the pistol over his shoulder, like blindly.
They hop in his car and chase him down. They end up they get the stone back and drive off, leaving Ralph behind. And like all of a sudden over the hill, like a bunch of horse riding, military guys.
Oh,
come,
yeah.
and they're all circling him.
Yeah.
Like
He's like, oh my God, it's the cavalry.
he's a riot in this movie.
Oh, he really
Danny
is.
yeah, he's fantastic.
They so driving away, Joan crashes the car into a river.
That's another when he's like, "How are we gonna get out of this?" And she's like, "How about Lupe's escape?"
Yeah, that's
And then they
right.
just fucking right into the water.
Because that's what Juan did. He had the little
Right.
bridge
Got the
over
ramp.
the creek.
How about Lupe's escape?
Yeah.
She's like fucking right into the water.
Yeah, carried downstream.
She's
to the
still
water.
She's steering the car. He's like, "What are you doing?
She's
We're not
still
going
steering.
anywhere."
And she looks so happy while she's
I know,
steering.
I know.
Like
Focus.
like a Sunday
Yeah.
driver.
Yeah.
Well, she's having fun. Her book is coming to life at this
Right,
point.
right.
Yeah.
She's getting what she wants.
Yeah,
in a
she's living
sense.
one of her own adventures.
She is.
They swim to the shore, but they're on opposite sides.
Yeah.
You know, hey,
Hey, Benny.
you're on the wrong
Thinking that
side
all
of
the
the
time
river.
now, too.
I got the horses.
Hey, Benny, you're on the wrong side of the river.
And at this point, we don't really know. We don't know yet. We don't like. Is he?
Yeah, is he
trying
really gonna fuck her over,
Right.
or-
Yeah. Like is he one
Right,
of those
because
guys?
he tries to steal the map. They have sex, and he's
Puts
showing
it
his
back.
feelings. He puts
Right.
it back.
Yeah.
Right.
He tries to make the photocopies.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about him, though. Throughout the whole movie, he's
Yeah,
like
you really
almost
don't
there,
know.
Guessing.
but then he's still just like
Right.
he came to Colombia to try to make money, and all his birds are gone. And he's kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, now he's trying to recoup that loss.
Yeah.
Despite her thinking he did it on purpose and is trying to steal the diamond from, the gem for himself, he tells her he'll meet her. She makes it to the hotel in the city and contact. A hotel in the city.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I like? What's that hotel called in Cartagena? Hotel Cartagena. I love that part.
She makes it to the hotel, contacts Ira, who tells her to come alone to a boat.
The castle.
The castle.
Mm-hmm.
A
Cool
fort,
castle.
Fort, right?
Yeah, it's like probably.
She calls the front desk of the hotel asking if Jack has checked in, but he hasn't, causing her to fret. So it's still that, Willy won't. That night, she boards the Orca. Orca boat taxi.
Yeah, great movie.
And arrives at the old fort where she is supposed to meet Ira. She makes the drop, and Ira confirms the map is real. He menacingly sets the girls free.
Well, I love that line, though. Joan Wilder, you and your sister, pause, can go.
It's great.
I remember the first time I saw it, I'm like, what's he going to say? What's he going to say? You can go.
They're very nice, right? Because he feeds
Right.
Gary
Yeah.
Allen Trainer a steak. and
Yeah.
They
just
take
look
care of her
alike.
more or
She's
less.
having a glass of wine. She's
Yeah.
got a 3-course meal in front of her while they keep her hostage.
They really just want the map.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Jack has the stone hidden in his pants, and it falls out when a soldier hits him with the butt of his rifle. He grabs it and tries to throw it away from everyone, but Zolo catches it before it hits the water. Unfortunately for him, those are some snappers. He gets his hand chopped off in fairly gruesome fashion.
Zolo, yeah.
A lot more graphic than I thought it was going to
Yeah.
be.
Bites it right off.
Yeah. Nice little
So
the
now
bones
that
sticking out.
gator's got Zolo's hand and
the stone.
And Chubbs his
That
hand.
one always
Oh.
bothered me a little bit. Like if somebody took an assault rifle and hit you in the nuts while you had a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
rock in your crotch,
Yeah.
I feel like the response would have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, oh, you dislodged it.
He kind of winces a little
slides
bit,
it,
but
yeah,
not
but
as much
not
as
like, dude.
you're right, not as much as I think you would.
Fucking crushed your
Yeah.
crushed your balls with a stone with his gun butt. Whatever. That's just hundreds of times of seeing this movie, where I'm just like, that would have hurt more.
I agree, Tito.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sets them free, but they're ambushed by Zolo and his men, who hold them all at gunpoint, including Jack, who they've brought with them, and a beaten Ralph.
Oh, he looks like shit at this point. I feel so bad for him.
He's also thrown down to the ground. Joan tries to play it off to Zolo like they didn't find the stone, but he knows better. And what do you know? The soldiers bring the captives outside to a crocodile pit. Jack has the stone. Jack has the stone hidden in his pants. Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah, you jumped ahead.
I jumped back. I think I skipped over that part.
Yeah, you
that
read it and
description.
then you went forward and then came. That's all
Sorry,
right.
you're playing with time.
Yeah.
It's the time stone. It is green.
Oh, hey.
So he gets his hand chopped off in a fairly gruesome fashion. The chaos that follows allows the captives to all escape. Unfortunately for everyone, the crocodile who ate Zolo's hand also ate the stone. Captain Hook appears and stalks Joan and Elaine. But as he asks her how she wants to die, she pulls a page from her own book, the one that started the movie, and throws a knife at him. He catches it with a piece of wood, though, and comes at her with it.
Yeah.
You know what? Great throw, though.
Yes.
I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
I actually kind of
exactly.
thought that like she would try to be cool and do it, but it would like bounce off because
Yeah.
every time I've ever tried to throw a knife like that,
Exactly.
it just
The hilt hits first.
hits it. Yeah, it just flops right onto the ground.
Shit.
She flung it right at his head.
Right.
You know, it was going to connect. It was
Yeah.
connecting.
Caught it with the driftwood.
Per usual.
She calls down to Jack because she's up top of the fort. She sees him down below. He's wrestling.
He's having
the croc.
another moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Do I save her or do I fucking get
Get
the
the
stone out
stone.
of this crocodile?
Which is really good.
Yeah.
Because he's wrestling the crocodile. The crocodile's trying to escape into the water. He's like got it by the tail. He's he's desperate to get the stone. Ultimately, lets it go so he can grab his gun and shoot Zolo, but it's out of ammo. And so he has to race to the top of the fort to try to rescue her. But by the time he gets up there, she's kind of already
saved herself.
He climbs a flat wall, and
Spider-Man.
And Zolo looks to have it almost won over, but Joan, who he pins against the grated crock pit, she rips the cigar out of his mouth and burns it
Jams
with
it in
it,
his face.
which is great.
Dude, when she hits him, I'd rather have my hand bitten off than be hit in a stump with a piece of wood.
Yeah.
I feel like that. It looked
Yeah.
like the most fucking painful thing.
Agreed.
At least a quick bite. It's like, oh fuck, it's gone.
Yeah.
But she's just like, let me jam this piece of wood into the stump.
Yeah.
It looks so. Painful.
And it's really like 3 really painful things in a row because first she burns him with the cigar, then she hits him with that, and he gets knocked over to the fire.
She sets him on
and
fire.
gets
Yeah,
on,
he
he's
set
on
on
fire. And then he trips into the crock pit. So right as
But
Jack,
the fire's out.
right, fire's
So
out.
At least there's one problem he's got rid of.
Right. And who knows? Maybe he escaped. We don't see. We don't know.
Yeah,
we never
yeah,
know.
And he lived happily ever after in the crocodile pit.
He made friends.
Yeah.
As police make their way to the site, Jack kisses Joan and flees, having a past with the police and needing to escape. And back in the U.S., Gloria reads Joan's newest novel and loves it. She's crying just like Joan was in the beginning. It turns out it's her and Jack's story. When she arrives back at her apartment, there's a sailboat on a flatbread. Flatbread.
Flat.
It's a
Yeah.
flatbread.
delicious.
Yeah, it's
Yum,
delicious.
yum.
I gotta call my mother.
David.
You can, I really like that you can see her because the first interaction with the guy with the fucking puppet monkey.
Yeah.
She's
send
so
I know, right.
awkward.
Atlanta.
Right.
But this time she's just like, nope, don't need it. Get out of
Right.
my way. I'm
Right.
like,
She's
I'm
a-
a new
she's a
woman.
brand new woman.
Yeah.
She's seen the world. She's done
Yeah.
some
Right.
shit. She killed a guy.
Yeah.
That's very
right.
cool.
She's ready.
Yeah.
Tortured
And,
a guy and killed a guy.
Yeah.
You can take on
Yeah,
those,
right.
She can
She
take on those
tortured
New
him a
York
little bit.
streets.
So she gets there, and there's a sailboat sitting there on a flatbed trailer,
Which
it's
always
parked out in front.
the masts are up. Are they
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
How
for
did
the
they get it
full
down the
effect.
street with all those telephone lines?
Dude.
That always bugged me too.
New York was a different time in the 80s.
I guess so.
It looks like it's taken like as close to the middle as it can get. When it's
I-
driving
I-
away, it's going so fucking slow.
Oh, I
though.
Right.
know.
Well, and there's no one on the road.
Yeah.
there's nobody-
Yeah.
Like they didn't even try.
New York had a
Hollywood-
good time with it.
Didn't even
Hollywood,
try
New
with
York.
extras.
Yeah.
He emerges from the
He Jack.
inside of the and throws down a ladder. He's shown to be wearing croc skin boots. Little implication. that
Yeah, the old boy died in my arms.
Yeah, got sick from the stone, died in his arms, and he bought a boat and came to get his princess.
I would have been here sooner, but I was waiting for these boots to be made. Sorry. Couldn't call.
It takes a while.
And then she leaves her
Quality
groceries
over
on the
quantity.
street, and they literally sail down the street on the
Which is
flatbed.
which is
Yeah.
rude and a waste of money.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring the groceries
Yeah, but
with
in the
you.
80s,
Yeah,
that's
Like,
like,
what's he got on the boat?
that's like
crackers?
$15 worth
He's
of
not gonna
groceries
have-
back then.
That was
True,
what?
but I
It
mean,
was like $15 worth of
15,
groceries
yeah.
wasteful.
back then.
Yeah.
Wasteful though.
She got the
Right.
money. She's
There's
a
no
money.
money
Yeah.
in that boat.
She's
That's
world
true.
famous.
She's got the money.
Yeah, you could tell they were groceries because it was a baguette sticking out of the bag.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
and like some lettuce,
Yeah,
some like
exactly.
kale
Yeah.
type lettuce.
She saved the flowers though. For
There's
him,
always
I
one
imagine.
bag of groceries
That's right.
in these movies.
Yeah,
They come
it's-
home. It's one bag of groceries.
It's the same bag.
What?
It's the same bag.
Exactly, and it's got a baguette and parsley sticking out the top of it.
It's in
Yeah.
the studio, their
It's
little
in the
storage
contract.
closet.
It's in the contract.
Fake crime.
Must buy groceries.
But that's it. That's Romancing the
That's
Stone.
Romancing the
That's
Stone.
Sunset
Great
together.
flick.
Gentlemen, favorite scenes, Tito?
Oh, my favorite scene, honestly, it's a chunk.
Mm.
It's the second that they meet after the bus breaks down, right up until they get to the plane, and they're getting high. That entire section of the movie, I absolutely love. Everything
I agree with
It's
Tito.
fast paced. It's funny. They don't quite like each other.
It's
just
this
so
where all the
much fun.
character development
Yeah.
starts.
Right.
It's yeah.
That section of the movie I just love. So that's for a scene. It's that all of that.
I really like when they first meet Juan, and Juan has
Yeah.
a fanboy
Yeah.
reaction. It's like if you took somebody hostage and their partner was like Stan Lee or something, and then you realized that, oh, we don't have to kill this guy after all. You know,
I love that. Juanita. It's Juanita.
and I love how you call it the 3PO moment. It's
Oh, it
exactly
totally
what it
is.
is.
Yeah.
Like
And
she's
that
all
guy
of a
is
sudden-
hilarious, and that scene's hilarious too. So I really like that scene a lot.
Mine, I like all the stuff, all like you guys, all the early on stuff with Turner and Douglas, the way they bounce off each other. Joan's kind of arc from blundering would-be tourist to adventurer, hard-nosed Jack, kind of dropping his guard and showing some honor.
But do you know what's funny is she saves herself and him through this whole movie.
Right.
It's not your
Right.
typical
It's not him saving
man
her.
and
Yeah.
woman romance where the woman is always 2 steps behind or dangling from an arm
damsel
while
in
he's hanging out.
distress.
Yeah.
She gets the vine swinging
Right, and he's like,
He
huh,
does
and he
not.
does it,
Yeah,
but he
and
does it wrong.
Right.
Right.
He smacks into the side of the cliff on the other
It's like
side.
unintentional. Like she just lands on her butt.
But
Oh,
still,
I love that scene.
She
She
does
looks
it
so
well.
surprised.
Yeah.
She lands on her butt a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
If you
Oh, for
notice,
sure.
there's a lot of like, you know.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
also, she's the reason they don't die when Juan meets them. They would have been dead if
Yeah.
it wasn't
Oh,
for her
absolutely.
credit. Like, she carries herself and him through this movie. It's
Yeah.
kind of ahead of its time
Yeah.
in terms of these. In
Yeah,
terms of
it's a-
these
it's a-
roles.
She
It's
kills the
great
bad guy.
character arc.
She
She saves her sister.
herself.
She does.
Saves her
Yeah.
sister. Yep.
For sure.
Just every time they were on screen together, though, they just lit it up. So they're my favorite.
Yeah, no, I'm like with Tito. I love all the scenes in the jungle from the time that she gets off that bus, when it gets stopped, all the way up through the plane scene when they're getting high, and the part with Juan and the little mule. I love that. Like I said, when they're trying to get away from Zolo's men, and it's a high-speed chase through this, little tiny village, and they're running over chickens and stuff and whatnot. And the whole time they're getting shot at, he's pointing out like things in this
Where
little,
they, yeah.
this
He's
little
giving the tour.
shithole village,
Yeah.
like that tree. My brother planted that tree. My mother was born over there, and it.
My little mule, she's fireproof.
Yeah, that's
There's
right.
there's a great trend in these movies. I'm thinking of like when the driver is totally relaxed through the most chaotic of situations,
yeah.
and the stars in the
Yeah.
back seat. Whether it's Benny from Total Recall, Welcome to Mars,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
or Cabby from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They're
Yep.
driving away from the weasels, and he's like, "So where you going?"
Another Zemeckis film.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Even like that brief moment in the shadow when Peter Boyle is like swerving the road, just like minding his
That's
own
right.
business,
Yeah.
while the shadows
another
being
day.
all
Yeah.
creepy and saying, the sun is shining, but the ice is. And Peter Boyle's just like reciting it to himself. Like I love that. I guess it's a trope. I love when the driver's just like, "Yep, whatever, another day in the office."
Right.
I drive.
Like nothing.
That's what I do.
Nothing they haven't seen.
Yeah,
They've seen it all.
and that tour that he does in Romantic, that's a great scene.
I love that scene.
Yeah, over there is where my brother. I love
This
it.
movie's filled with a ton of great scenes.
It is.
It's tough to pick just one.
Yeah.
It really is. So I like Tito. I like taking that whole chunk of the jungle, that first middle part of it.
Yeah,
Love it.
It's a fun.
Tito, is there anything that's wrong with this movie?
Honestly, no. There's the only thing, and I just thought of it because of the scene in the town. I think it's funny and it doesn't make sense to me. When Zolo approaches the old lady with the corn.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, Americanos, no, gringos, no, Americanos, gringos. And then he just hits her, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Dude?
Yeah.
Like, take it easy on that lady.
I know.
So
She's just shucking the corn, man.
yeah, I don't know. I love the film, so there's nothing that really doesn't work for me. It's not especially long. I think it's just perfect, and the story works for me. Just that one scene, I'm just like, why did they put a scene with him beating up an old lady?
Just to show how evil
Right.
he can
That's
be.
right. That's how evil he is.
But yeah, that was it.
The only thing, not that it didn't work, the only thing that sticks out that I raise an eyebrow at is when he stabs the maintenance guy.
Right.
That's a very dark moment in an otherwise fun, like goofy kind of.
He could have just
adventure.
knocked him out.
Yeah.
Right. It seems a little, and this is me. So like for me to be put off by this rather is like. That's just weird because everybody, they're whining and dining the hostages. They have, they're making little jokes. They're having fun. But this maintenance guy who has zero connection, they totally go all, evil, like action star movie villain, whatever, and kill him. And I thought, well, that's a little harsh.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Violence happens.
For me, it does get a little too lovey-dovey towards the end. But I mean, the movie.
It's a romance movie.
But well,
You gotta expect it, man.
and it's probably part of the reason the film escaped me in the 80s and 90s because of the romance in the title and the plot. So I mean, but I digress. There's really not anything that I can point out that's glaring or frustrating.
I never saw this in a theater either. The only thing I remember seeing about it was the Drew Struzan poster for it.
Yeah.
And that's an exciting,
which is a really cool picture, but like
that's a classic adventure.
But that font, like the word romancing, is very like the cover of one of those books.
Sure,
right? Yeah.
So
which is what it's supposed to look like, right?
But for a kid, it kind of it turned me off. I was like, I don't want to watch
I get that.
Like,
I mean, it did the same for me.
Brian, anything?
Just Kathleen Turner's gray teeth. No.
Yes. It's okay.
I say
it's all
it,
right.
but you know what? I was thinking about it as we were going through the movie. You don't notice it afterwards. So I don't know if it was just the way her apartment was lit. If it was like her makeup was so bright it made her teeth look gray.
She could have had a coffee. That just wasn't done right.
It was only that one scene. I'm not finding any fault in this movie, man. There's no fat on this film.
One thing I really like
bad.
about this movie is that they don't do the like put glasses on her. They just give her like a bun and like, no makeup and kind of dress her like kind of like frumpy.
Yeah.
But you can tell she's clearly got a body.
Oh yeah.
And is very attractive and has so that makes me wonder when you say that if it's like that gradual into like leading lady.
They made.
Well, then they were like, all right, shine up her teeth.
Made her up
now.
to look that way.
Yeah, now let's shine up her teeth and give her a little sparkle.
There's a lot of nips in that cabinet. Any of them could gray her teeth.
She might have been making out with her cat, Brian. For all we know.
I mean, I'm sure her breath was good.
Cat Romeo.
I'm sure she had Dr. McGillicuddy's.
He was eating cold.
But we know her breath smelled like oranges at least. The Grand Marnier.
Maybe cat butt too. We don't know.
We don't even know, man.
You name it Cat
hey,
Romeo.
honey.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, I finished.
Tito, favorite and least favorite characters?
My favorite is Colton. I love Colton. I just love that hero. I like a hero who's complicated and a little bit of a sleazeball, but very redeeming in the end. And I like to see my heroes make mistakes, and he makes a ton.
He does.
My least favorite, I think Ira's really funny. I like that you mentioned the snapper thing because that gets really fucking tired to me.
Yeah.
But Mary Ellen Trainor is just fucking, I don't know what she's doing in this movie. I know what she's doing, but
she's humping the
she
director.
passes out. She's getting fucking hit in the head with the bolo. They're going to hurt me. They're going to kill me.
She's the Willie of this movie. She's the Willie.
Yeah.
Luckily, she didn't have that
spot
big
on,
part.
Mark.
Yeah.
I like Willie better.
Oh my.
Well, I'll tell you what, over
I like
Mary Ellen
yeah.
Trainor, sure.
I like the...
Not by much, though.
No. As far as like the characters, like I don't like her sister. I'd rather have Willie.
Yeah.
Than fucking
everybody would.
Willie didn't pass out mid-action.
No. Yeah, well, no, she did.
I thought, she does.
Doesn't she pass out on her elephant at one point? No, that's...
Yeah, but not when the guy's trying to kill her.
No, she passes out during the
monkey brain.
Monkey brain.
Yeah, that's fine. Not when the guy's trying to stab you. You pass out, you leave your sister to die. What a fucking hump. She's a hump.
Another hump.
She's a hump. But yeah, those are that's mine.
Okay, Mark.
My favorite character is Kathleen Turner. I love her character. She's not your typical like sidekick, romance
Damsel
girl.
in distress.
She's not, she's not dangling from the arm of the rugged hero.
Well, she's not Willie, who constantly needs to be saved.
Right.
She's more Marion, but even Marion falls prey to that after a while, just stumbling about, hiding in baskets. Indy, there's none of that with Kathleen Turner. She's really holding her own through this whole movie, and I think she's great. I think her presence is great. Her acting is great. I love how she's genuine. She's not overplaying this part.
No.
It's not all screams and even with the snake part. Where, she doesn't go all hammy or scene
It's like a natural
anything.
Reaction that you would expect someone to have.
Really good, really genuine. This movie, love her in it, and she plays well off. I was going to say Michael Bolton. That wouldn't work. Michael Douglas. Michael Colton. Bolton, whatever.
Jack Colton.
Who's good. Who's awesome in the movie, for sure. But he's more, the obvious exciting one with all the one-liners and the adventure in him. And it's probably very hard to play up or equal to that. I think she manages to surpass it at some point, which could not be easy to do back then.
Even in the beginning, when she's like the way that she plays the character when she's not an adventurer or not like when she's supposed to be so totally out of her element, she still handles herself pretty well.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah, she does.
So other people would be freaking out and losing their shit and crying and and she holds her own. What about least favorite?
I don't really have one.
No?
I know that's kind of a cop-out, but the leads are so good. All the rest of them aren't in. And I guess I would go Mary Ellen Trainor because I don't like her in this movie, but she's not in it enough to really have a huge effect on me.
Yeah, for sure.
That would probably just be my answer, but it's not even enough to ruin anything.
Yeah. My favorite's Jack. I definitely, never really been a big Michael Douglas fan.
Oh, really?
But but this kind of changed my mind about him. Like I kind of was, I really should go back and watch a lot of his 80s stuff then. Because I mean, I like him in Falling Down, obviously.
He's done so many different kinds of movies.
He has.
Right.
He has. You go from
So many
Falling
different
Down
things.
to The American President.
Right, Basic Instinct.
Oh my God, Basic Instinct is really Black Rain.
Black Rain.
Yeah.
What's the
The Game.
The
The
Game.
Game.
Oh,
A
yeah.
Perfect Murder.
Oh,
Which one?
yes.
He was in A Perfect
Yeah.
Murder too.
Oh, yeah, he was.
The remake.
Oh
The
yeah,
fucking
the
Ant-Man
remake of that
movies.
one.
Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
really.
I
what's
like him
the-
a lot.
Why am I drawing a blank on? I said Basic Instinct, or the one with the lady who kills the rabbit.
Yeah.
Fatal
Fatal
Attraction.
Attraction.
Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction.
Oh, that's
See-
right. He was in both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. All around that same
shit,
time,
I
early
forgot about
90s.
that.
Yeah.
Disclosure. Remember that shit?
Yes,
Yeah.
with
With
Demi
Demi
Moore.
Moore. That's a Michael
Michael
Crichton
Crichton
book.
book.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I
Wow.
think he directed that too.
You know what?
He
I don't
might
think
have.
I've ever seen that.
No?
I don't think I've ever seen.
I like it's
Disclosure.
weird. It's like a sexual harassment
Is that the
movie.
one with
Yeah,
the
but
mixed
Woody
with
Harrelson?
Opposite.
mixed with
That's not the one with Woody
espionage.
Harrelson, is
No,
it?
Woody Harrelson
No.
is in Decent Proposal.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And
Disclosure.
isn't that Michael Douglas? Who's
No.
the one that makes
Decent
it?
No,
Proposal.
Robert
Redford.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Robert Redford.
All right.
Yep.
I'm getting those
Yeah.
two mixed up.
Disclosure
happens.
is such a weird movie. I love it though.
And then for least favorite, I originally had one, to be honest.
Really?
Even though he's hilarious, I kind of looked at him as like a throwaway character that was.
Oh, he's not throwing.
And I didn't really like the whole idea that he was like addicted to a romance novelist.
Yeah.
I loved that.
But then the more,
doesn't have a phone.
the more that we talked about it, and the more I relived those scenes in my mind, talking about it through this episode, I'm like, yeah, no, he's hilarious. So I don't really, I don't have.
I also like that he's kind of
Yeah.
a dick to Jack the entire time.
Right.
I love it.
right. Like he's
Yeah.
Oh, he's just so enamored with
he's
Joan.
he's not helping because of him. He's
Yeah.
helping because of her. And
Yeah.
he makes him know that.
And Jack's just along for the ride.
Right.
For me, it's Kathleen Turner. This is Joan Wilder's movie, man. She's got such an arc. She starts off as like this meek and mild and mousy writer, and she just carries this movie on her shoulders.
Yeah.
And whether she wants to or not, she becomes like the leader. She's inadvertently, like we talked about, saving Jack
Right.
through this whole thing. And where at first he was kind of dragging her through the jungle, she's the one who's showing him how to get out,
Right.
and she saves the day in the end. So it's definitely her movie. As much as I like Michael Douglas and I love Jack Colton's character, I've got to give it to Kathleen Turner as Joan Wilder. And like you guys, I can't find anybody that I don't like in this movie. Mary Ellen Trainor, yeah, she's weak, but she's there. She's the catalyst. So I mean, you got to have
the MacGuffin.
somebody.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
And yeah, she doesn't have much to do,
Mary
but
Ellen
that's not enough for me to hate her. She
Yeah,
she wasn't annoying. If I had to pick out somebody that I don't like that's annoying, it's the kid with the bolo. I just don't like his face.
it's a punchable face.
It's a punchable face.
I didn't
I don't like how he's all happy with the other kids, and then he sees Elaine come out with the car and the black hat and the sunglasses, and he just looks all pissed off at her. And like you said, you don't know if it's like, oh, fuck the proletariat, you know?
Exactly. That's what I thought it was going to be.
And whips the bolo at her. You
Didn't
know?
expect her to kidnap her. Like,
So yeah, but it's still kind of a fun scene,
Right.
You know, as annoying as that little fucker is.
nice. MVP?
I'm going to
Kiddo?
split it 50-50 down the
two of them?
middle. Yeah, Douglas and Turner.
I did the same thing.
I just think they're such a great on-screen.
we did
Yeah.
split it.
Oh, you have to do it three ways. Then you got to do Danny DeVito.
See,
too. Danny is hilarious.
well, no, but like
this
I know
movie.
in the other two movies he plays a bigger part alongside them. I think it was because of the fact that he wasn't really with them much. If he had been like, if he had found them and was like kind of trying to keep up with them like throughout the whole movie,
Yeah.
then I think I probably would have felt a little different.
I see what you're saying, but he's got almost as much screen time as them too, even though
he
he's
does.
not with them all the time.
He does, but I think I looked at it as a joint award.
Yeah.
Because of the chemistry that those two have.
Oh no, agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
for me,
and he doesn't.
They do have.
They don't have the
But
same.
I mean, Danny DeVito's
Yeah.
so great in this.
That's
movie.
why I like Jewel of the Nile as bad of a movie as it is, because I like that character.
The
like,
three of them are
kind of
together.
wins at the end.
Yeah.
Where in this movie he just gets fucked over the entire time, and he eventually ends up getting some like riches out of the end. Of
And
the
he
fucking
tries. He
story.
tries in the beginning to talk Ira out of all this.
Yeah.
You know, to
Yeah.
keep them out of all this trouble.
it's true.
And he doesn't listen to him.
Nope.
And, He ends up in.
I can never hurt you. If I hurt you, I hurt me, and I would never hurt me. I'll be back for you, Ralph. When?
Soon.
It's like, what a prick.
Oh, fucking Ira.
Who's your?
I'm gonna go. I was gonna go Danny DeVito. You make sense with what you say for sure, and Brian makes sense. I just like Danny DeVito.
He's fun.
This movie is pure adventure and classic romance. When Danny DeVito's on screen doing his thing, it doesn't wake you up from it because it's not boring, but it kind of takes you out of the lovey-dovey stuff, which I don't mind.
Right.
But it kind of adds a little bit of an edge,
right?
But a fun edge.
It reminds you of what what's going on the other side of things, right?
And it's not forced either.
No, it's just
very just like
I gotta tell you, I just for a little guy, he has such a presence about him in pretty much everything he does. I'm not a big fan of him as the Penguin, much as I love Batman Returns. I very much wanted to see Danny DeVito more the gangster Penguin.
Yeah.
A la Burgess Meredith.
Than the monster.
With the top hat and the tux. I feel like he would have been phenomenal as that kind of almost waddling, funny gangster Penguin as opposed to the Elephant Man, because he makes a great bad guy. He makes a fun bad guy.
Yeah.
And I love him. I absolutely love him in this movie. And but if I had to, if I could split it up, it would still be like Kathleen Turner and Danny DeVito. They just shine for me.
Mine's the pair. And Brian, same thing for you?
No.
Or the three? Or,
no, I'm going with the MV3.
Oh, okay.
The MV3, I like that. There you go.
Because
no, that's what I meant. The same as the trio.
Yeah, I'm going with the trio. But you finish yours.
No, that was it.
That was it.
For their chemistry.
Yeah, you can't beat the chemistry between Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. But then Danny DeVito and Ira have such great chemistry together, too.
Oh, yes, sure.
But Ira is hardly in the movie as compared to Danny, and Danny just steals every scene that he's in. He is so great in this movie.
He's fun to watch. He's fun to look at.
He's amazing in this movie. And
and he's not over the top.
It to him.
Like he's not that Penguin.
No, he's not hamming it up. Nobody in this movie is hamming it up. That's what's great.
He's not quite over the top, and he's not hamming it up, but he's definitely bringing it more. He's turning it up to 11 more in his performance.
Yeah. Everybody in this movie.
See, I disagree. I don't think he's got it up to 11. That's what I mean.
Think so?
I think he's more understated in this role. Like he's like he has these really comedic moments.
Yeah.
But he's not
when he's like shouting on the phone and falling off the table, and he's got all the comments.
Yeah,
and he's like, America.
But it's more bumbling. Like it's not.
But that's what I mean by turning it up to 11. The rest of the comedy between the two is either romantic, banterous, or whatever.
I know what you're saying. He elevates every scene that he's in.
Yeah.
He elevates it.
That's
and like everybody's not being hammy.
Yeah.
But everybody gets their time to shine.
Right.
Sure.
Like everybody has like their own moment in the spotlight in this movie, and nobody is outdone. Like everybody's almost equal.
Yeah.
It's so
And
amazing.
the thing,
it's such a balancing act.
The thing that I meant was more like I could see him playing this character more like he plays on Philly.
Oh,
like kind of just like just
all over the place.
Right.
Yeah.
For my monster dog.
That's more than 11.
Right. Just like
that's like 13.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. But he's like, compared to that, he's much more reserved in the role, and it works way better.
It's like his
than
Taxi.
Over the Top.
We need to make a song about not diddling kids. Let's not diddle kids. We're not diddling kids.
That needs a rewatch.
I fucking love it. Oh my god, he's hilarious on that fucking show.
I love it. I love it.
Frank, that's the exact opposite thing you want to do. Is write a song about not it.
Award for what are you doing here?
I went with Juan, just because this was one of the first times I watched it where I was like, oh, El Guapo. I never put the two together.
No.
Because he's gray in Three Amigos.
Yeah, he is.
But I was like, oh, that's fucking El Guapo. Do I have a plethora? So yeah, and like I know everybody else in this movie.
Yeah.
Too well. So yeah.
I haven't seen it enough. This is probably honestly my second or third time seeing it in a span of many years in between. Mary Ellen Trainor. When I started, I'm like, Mom from Goonies, what are you doing here? So I'll go with that one.
I went with Holland Taylor because I haven't really seen much of her other than So I was like, when I first saw her, I was like, oh, that's the grandmother from 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
And I knew, and I really like only really knew her from that, and from the fact that she dates Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson, yeah.
So like, other than that, I didn't really know any of her past catalog of movies or TV. Like, so it was kind of just like, oh, well, interesting. Like, wasn't expecting her.
I love her name.
Holland.
Yeah,
Holland,
I love it. Holland Taylor. Just
and she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah,
like, she's like
sure.
like a classic kind of beauty.
She's handsome. She's a handsome woman.
Yeah. That's right.
She's a handsome woman.
Glenn Close kind of
Glenn Close, Sigourney
right.
Weaver.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Sigourney Weaver.
I think Glenn Close looks better
Alien,
the older she got.
I'm
gonna say it.
I think Sigourney Weaver's so hot.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver's in a.
So she got something.
than
She got something special.
Ghostbusters. She's
For
not
me,
handsome.
at least.
She's
But
very
I see what
sexy
you're
in
saying. But
Ghostbusters.
she's got something special.
Yeah.
I feel like now she's handsome.
For me.
She's like, regal.
Well,
Like what in Cabin in the Woods.
right.
Like she does, she's in a pantsuit. So I guess that's why I'm equating the word handsome. I don't know. Gender roles. I don't know. Brian,
Whatever. Hey, yeah.
I would, but what are you doing here?
Speaking of Ghostbusters, Mark, my pick is Kimberly Herron, who played Angelique in the opening scene. In the beginning, she was the dream ghost who gave Dan Aykroyd a blowjob in Ghostbusters.
No kidding.
shit.
Her. Wow. No
Yes.
idea. Good pick.
So
What a pull.
that's mine.
Nice. I always had a
Torso
crush on
apparition.
the girl in the beginning with Bill Murray. The girl who was doing
the
the one that was
Jan
doing the
Brady?
test.
I used to think
Yeah.
she was,
the
she was
fake
a
Jan Brady.
gorgeous, like 80s gorgeous
Oh, she was
blonde.
Cindy.
Yeah.
She was Cindy when what's her name wouldn't return. They had to get a
Cindy.
different Cindy in the Brady Bunch. Is it
Oh,
Brady
and
Bunch?
that-
Christmas
Oh, that's
special.
right.
The
Yes.
Christmas
She's
special or
Cindy
something?
Brady.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there was a
She's
different.
very cute, very 80s
And
looking.
then Jan didn't come back for
Jan didn't come back. Jan
Brady's
was,
After Dark or something. They had that. No, they had like a.
They did. They
had like a live
it was
TV
like
show.
a TV special,
Yeah.
Brady's After Dark.
Do you,
Yeah,
do you
something to
think
that
if you
effect.
rub Tiger in the right way, you could see his red rocket?
Yes, I did.
I do.
Or Oliver.
I do. Oh, cousin Oliver, come back.
Cousin Oliver's
boy.
red rocket.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Cousin.
Gross.
And that's it. That's Romance in the
That's
Stone.
Romancing the Stone.
Awesome.
Highly recommended
Great
by
movie.
everybody. Check it
Yeah.
out.
Absolutely.
Good pick, Tito.
Don't sit on it.
Tito.
Oh, I love this movie.
Good way
Yeah,
to,
me too.
definitely a great way
I'm
to
glad you
end
picked
this
it.
month.
I love talking about
Awesome. These were some great movies, guys. Good movies to talk about. What's making our geek flag fly?
Cheeto?
So Michael Mann made a sequel to Heat, but he
Oh.
wrote it in book form. It's called Heat 2.
Clever.
So it was Michael Mann and Meg Gardner who wrote it. It picks up exactly where one left off, only after a certain point, it hops back in time to like 1988, and it's Neil and so it's Pacino in Chicago as a cop trying to take down a crew that is doing all these home invasions, while at the same time Neil and De Niro and Val Kilmer and Tom Sizemore's character are also in Chicago trying to take down a score, and their worlds haven't collided. They're just two separate things. I'm like halfway through. I'm listening to it on an audio version, but then it's supposed to then jump to like 2005 or something.
Cool.
But I don't know what that's supposed to be. The narrator is really good. He does some of the voices, but his Pacino is so fucking spot on.
Oh, yeah?
It's fantastic. And it's Pacino doing, Vincent Hanna in Heat. He's
Okay.
like so over the top. And it's a really cool story. It's really exciting. I'm just really into it right now. So
Cool.
On Spotify?
if you like books, or Apple Books,
Nice.
or the guys that take care of us. Mm-hmm.
Audible?
Audible. Yeah, that's the one.
Audible,
right.
Tito?
That's how I listen to it.
Yeah.
That's how we
can
should
tell.
listen to it. They sponsor us. We love you,
We should have
Audible.
Tito do the new commercial.
I know.
Yeah. Who are those guys?
I'm listening to.
Do you hate reading like I do? Have somebody read it to
It's true.
you. Like Juanita, the books I read to you on Saturday.
Yeah, right. The books. Juanita.
It's Juanita.
Mucho gusto. Mucho gusto. Oh, what a fucking that guy I'm sorry to go back to that
Yeah,
guy.
no.
He's so
the mean
scary.
guy?
Yeah,
And then he
I know.
becomes
Yeah.
the most lovable person. He seems like such a sweetheart after that. I just want to be friends with
Yeah,
him.
exactly. He just melts when he
Favorite
finds
scene.
out it's
It's
her.
awesome.
So good.
It's Juanita.
But that's it. I've been doing that.
I don't really have anything new. I'm on season 5 of Bosch, and that's the only new thing I've still been following.
Cool.
I'm plowing right through that series. It's awesome. but I've raved about it in the past 3 episodes, so keep going.
Oh, what about 4 Rooms?
Good movie. Needs a rewatch.
Four Brothers.
Yeah.
Four Brothers. Four Brothers.
Four Feathers.
Four Feathers.
That was a movie. I think.
Quartet. That's 4.
It is.
That's 4.
Yeah, but it changes everything.
It
What?
does. It doesn't
Yeah,
ring.
by saying
Puts the
quartet.
core in
It's like-
quartet.
Listen.
What's your fucking geek
4 ladies.
Whatever. I haven't really had any time this week to watch anything. I did buy a new movie that I'm sure will be on my geek flag next week. So
I won't hold my breath.
No, I won't.
You
You
better
shouldn't.
watch
That's a
this
long time
one.
to hold your breath. So no.
Romancing the Stone was on your photo.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, not much new. Other than I finally hung some shit up in my office. I
I saw
rearranged my
that. Your
office.
pictures?
Oh, I didn't see
I
that.
got the 2
man.
commissions from
Yeah.
Valeria.
Nice.
Are up there, and I hung them right above a piece that I did. I'm starting to hang things up.
Coming together.
All the things that I've
coming to Batcave.
Yes, I got some floating shelves to put up, so I
You
can
need
put
a
some
robot
some on my.
Tyrannosaur and a giant penny and a
old
giant
penny.
Joker playing card, and you'll be good to go.
Robin's suit. This is the joke's on you.
A butler.
You need a butler named Alfred.
I'm just gonna put Liam in a tux.
Butler.
There you go. He's short. He's
Can
the
you do
penguin
that?
now.
Is that allowed? I don't know.
Couple of
Seems like it
fucked
would
up
be against the
orphans.
law.
Get you some fucked up
That's only if you
orphans.
There you go.
True.
Brian, geek flag.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of things. Started watching a show called Mythic Quest on Apple Plus. It's Rob McElhaney, F.
Oh, I
Murray
heard that
Abraham.
show's good.
Yeah,
heard
I
that show was
stumbled on
good.
it last week. I took Friday off from work after my procedure on Thursday. I was still kind of wiped out. I said, "Oh fuck it, I'm not going back to
Wiped out.
going back to work on a Friday." So I started watching this show, and I really liked it. Like you, Tito, I kind of heard about it, that it was good, but I never really watched it. And it's I guess it's just started its 4th season, so I'm starting from the beginning. And it's Rob McElhaney, F. Murray Abraham, and
Danny Pudi in it?
Danny Puddy's in it. Yep, from Community.
Yeah.
It's a Rob McElhaney plays the head of a video game development company.
Oh, and fucking the David Hornsby.
Yeah,
who was
Rickety
in
Cricket.
Rickety Cricket.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. They're all from It's Sunny in
Always Sunny.
Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, Rob McElhaney plays the head of a successful video game development company, and it's basically a workplace comedy. It all takes place at the office, and they're just struggling to keep their game relevant and on top, and it's just weird and wacky, and the characters are funny, and I'm really getting into it. I'm only up to like episode 6 or 7, and I'm digging it so far. Really loving it. Last night I saw The Monkey.
Oh, how was it?
Oh my
it good?
God!
I am
was
going
it
Tuesday. I'm
good?
Going next
I'm not going to
Tuesday.
spoil it,
Don't-
but
all right.
it was good.
It's good? All right.
Oh my God, dude! It is so fun.
Now, wait. Is there's no mustache on the... You and I disagree on Nosferatu. There's no mustache on the monkey,
The
right?
monkey does not have a mustache.
All right, good.
It's directed by Oz
Steven.
Perkins. It's
Yep.
based on the short story by Stephen King. It's
Yeah.
produced by James Wan. It's awesome. It's a horror comedy.
It looks great.
and the kills are so original.
All right, so my biggest concern, because I'm watching the trailer, is that they show, like, I felt like they were showing everybody who died.
No.
And
no.
how they die.
There are way more people than this movie that died than in the trailer.
I was worried about
Okay.
that too,
No,
but I still want to see
no.
it.
Oh
right.
my God, no.
Good, all right.
Let's just
awesome.
say everybody fucking dies in this movie.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And they die in horrifically hilarious ways.
Okay.
Okay, hear that,
Especially-
Dean? We're going.
Especially, is it Sarah Levy? Eugene Levy's
Yeah,
daughter
yeah.
from Schitt's Creek. She plays the
I didn't
aunt
realize
of
she
the.
was in it.
Yeah, she's got a very small part, but she goes out in probably the most spectacularly hilarious way.
Oh, cool.
And that's all I'm going to say
Oh,
about
all
that.
right,
But
all right.
yeah, The Monkey, I highly recommend. I've seen like 3 hit movies in a row that I've absolutely loved.
you're on a hot streak.
Hard Eyes,
Hard Eyes
Love
is
Hurts,
fun.
and now this one. I mean,
Cool.
3 for 3, man.
Nice.
What a streak. And my last thing is I'm really excited about some upcoming streaming stuff that's coming down the pipe. In just a week, Daredevil starts on Disney+.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Andor just dropped its trailer for season 2, and it looks fan-freaking-tastic. That starts in April on Disney+. Doctor Who, April, Disney+. Poker Face season 2 was just announced that it's showing up in the spring sometime. Not exactly sure, maybe May, maybe June, but looking forward to that too. That's a great freaking show. So TV-wise, there's a lot of good stuff coming down the pipe that looks really awesome.
Well, we're all going to have to get procedures so we can take a lot of time off of work
know, right?
together and watch all this shit.
Shotgun it all.
All right.
Nice.
So that's me, man.
Cool. A lot of stuff to look forward to.
Definitely.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's see. How can I segue to? You know what? I'm very tired. It's been a long day. We have a lot of episodes where I do much better segues into where to find this goddamn show. And honestly, if you don't know now after 7 years, I just kind of feel like I'll be holding your hand forever.
There might be new listeners, Mark.
That's true. All right. Look, if you're a new listener, this is your first show. Welcome.
Hi.
So this is
Nice
for
to meet you.
It's great to meet you. Go get a suit. You can be a butler for Derek because apparently it's fine. Brian, where can they go?
They can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.3gdpodcast.com. And as Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our past episodes there, along with one-click buttons where you can easily subscribe to us. If you haven't subscribed to us already, hit one of those buttons to the podcast platform of your choice, and you will never miss an upcoming episode. Also at the website, most importantly, and this is what I forgot last week, gentlemen, rate and review the show.
Oh, yes.
Most importantly.
Oh, yeah.
I knew there was something I
Yeah.
was missing, and I totally blanked out on
Push
it.
us up
Rate
the
and review
charts.
the show. It goes a long, long way. A 5-star review, a 5-star rating and a review go a long, long way to help push our little show a bit further forward from the rest of the podcast pack. And most importantly, it makes it easier for others to find us while they're searching. And let's see, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, and the audio portion of our show can be found weekly on Twitter as well, and all of those social media presences can be linked at the website as well. You'll find it all there. And let's see, we have a Ko-fi page also linked at the website. Ko-fi is a spot where if you like the show and you might want to make a small donation to help keep the show running. Yeah, kelp. Looks like SpongeBob. Help keep the show running. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated because, as we say, podcasting is not cheap. So with that, thank you out there, everybody, for listening. If this is your first time, if you're a long-time listener, thank you, thank you, thank you. And back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, gentlemen. And thank you, everybody out there, for listening, first-timers or otherwise. Thank you for tuning in for this month. This was an awesome Fantasy February month. We had a lot of comments. We got comments from our some of our regulars, Tristan and Chris Ham. We had the pleasure of meeting up with them via Zoom on Saturday. Brian and I got together with them, and we had a little watch party, watched some movies, caught up. And they raved about the Rocketeer episode. They're loving the Pulp episodes. Josh Dowling has chimed in. He really dug that theme. So we tried something different with Fantasy February. It went pretty well. So
yeah.
I'm happy about that. I'm very excited that we'll be going into our In the March of Madness with 4 maddening movies. Could be anything, any insane kind of thing we'll be throwing at you.
Stay
So
tuned.
tune in for that. And also tune in for the return of our Drink Till It's Good segments where we do something different and fun to separate the Drink Till It's Good from our regular
stuff.
bullshit. So tune in. We got a lot coming up, a lot of exciting things. So until next time, for 3 Geeky Dads, I'm Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
Saying good night and keep watching the skies because I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life.
Ooh.
It's pretty good.
Dive.
You like that? There's a lot of songs with skies in it, one way or another. We're going to get through all of them. Look how happy they are. Juanita, I can't see me loving nobody but Juanita for all my... I get a piss.
Good night.
Good night. Good luck.
And God bless.
God bless. Don't forget to tip your driver.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
At first, I thought you were doing the thing that Jason Lee.
Yes, what I was. And then it evolved.
Yeah.
Stop bebopping and scatting all over the place.
Oh, gross. Make sure you clean the walls.
That's funny.
Here all week. Well, actually, just all night.
Scatman Reynard. He's got the shinnin.
You want to get sued?
Cat. Oh, sorry.
Son of a bitch, Derek. That's the last straw.
It is.
And that's the last Starfighter.
Ah.
And that's the last mimsy.
That's the Last Jedi.
You've chosen. What was the other one?
You've chosen. Oh,
Holy.
The Last Crusade. That was the last.
No. There was 2 Family Guy episodes. One of them had the last mimsy.
Oh, what's her name?
Hey, no, actually, you know what? It is that one because then he goes, "You've chosen," like, and it was like not Transformers, but like
300.
something.
It was 300.
Was it 300?
Yeah, you've chosen 300.
Did you ever see the Sarah Silverman when she did the roast and she used that as a joke? She says, "You know why they call the movie 300? Because on a scale of 1 to 10, that's how gay this movie is."
I have seen that. Whose roast was that?
I don't know. I really don't know, but all I can remember is the joke.
All right. You guys ready?
I'm ready when you are.
For sure.
Hey, did you guys hear about the blonde who went to Colombia for some coke?
No.
She came back with Pepsi.
It's
That
a simple
concludes
week.
the social
That
portion
can-
of
yeah.
Exactly.
Any sports talk? Anything going on in the world of sports? Then there's nothing
Oh,
for
really?
me. I've been hearing a lot about soccer, but I don't.
Oh,
don't want to
gearing up
Team
a March
Canada
Madness.
beat the shit out of Team USA.
Oh, there you go.
In Boston, Massachusetts.
I mean, they invented the sport, so
They have. They have.
they probably should.
They have every right.
They do. We're gonna own them soon anyway. Sources are telling me. So
Can't wait.
yeah, it'll be fun. Sure, they're gonna love it.
Tristan and Chris will be our property.
They're gonna drive me around. I'll
We're
be in the
getting
back seat.
subsidized.
Always good to bring our friends
I know,
into a
we love
slavery
you guys.
joke, huh? It's a good way to start off.
Yeah,
the
you know.
evening. Shout out to Tristan and Chris for being good sports about this joke.
Yes.
That way, that we know of. Yeah.
That we know of. They could.
I mean, they know what's up with Canada.
Yeah, they know, and they know what's up with us.
You know, this is just the first time that the creative team of Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito have starred together in a film. They also... Yeah, I read that right.
You did.
They also followed this up. Tito's looking at me like, really?
Did Brian go quiet, or did I have a stroke? What
I think
happened?
I'm having the stroke.
All right, it's-
They also followed this movie. I don't like that word also.
All right. Well,
Let me get rid of that. Hold on. They followed this movie up with a sequel, Jewel of the Nile, and then Danny DeVito directed the film War of the Roses. The actors... Yeah, all right. Actors... What the fuck? Who wrote this shit?
did you get my laptop by
I
accident?
think so. That word should
You
not
know,
be
the
there
show
either.
needs to hire a
Sometimes
script girl.
I think my laptop is possessed. All right, I'm going to start the whole thing over.
Was she in that that movie that the noise is off?
She was in Death Trap.
Not Noise. Yeah, Death Trap. That's the one.
Yeah, the one that I told you about.
Noises.
Yeah.
No, the
what's it- what was I thinking of? Not Noises
Sheridan, something Sheridan, Nicolette Sheridan.
Nikki Sheridan?
Yeah. Oh,
not
she's
Nikki
in
Sheridan.
that one. That's
That's
Death
the
Trap.
blonde from
That's
Noises,
Death Trap.
Noises Off.
Yeah.
Okay.
From what was that show that was very popular for a little while?
Don't know.
The neighborhood
on?
with all the
Eva
Longoria was
Housewives.
on
Desperate Housewives.
Desperate Housewives.
Oh, she was in that.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was on that.
Yeah.
I never watched that.
It was
Terry
a sexy
Hatcher.
Terry
neighborhood.
Hatcher.
Terry
Oh,
Hatcher.
shit.
Yeah, and
Felicity Huffman.
Ava, what was it? Ava? Not
Eva Longoria.
Eva Longoria.
that's
Yeah.
the one I'm
For
thinking
sure.
of.
This
Yeah.
is the most feminine we've ever been on this show, right here. This conversation, right here. Touch with our
Yeah,
feminine
Desperate
side
Housewives,
like
for sure.
Yeah.
Mark,
Oh, yeah.
Mark, stop touching your feminine side
Sorry,
in
I
public.
can't help it. You said Terry Hatcher, and that picture of
I
the
did
great
it.
outdoors lady.
They're real, and they're
spectacular.
spectacular.
I'm into that, Terry Hatcher.
All right, you gonna read your intro?
We were having fun.
Yeah, yeah, this is
good.
Touching ourselves or what?
Sidebar.
Ralph delivers Zolo to the police headquarters. Kind of a, like I said, and then as Joan falls behind. Oh no, sorry. Kind of. Let me start again. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Oh, that was spot on. Great job. Awesome ass, guys.
Awesome ass, everybody.
Wow.